Am I audible? Hello? Am I audible?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Am I audible, right?
Yeah.
Is my voice clear?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, that's perfect.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Intelligence System Forum 2021. This is Kriti Pendam, a student of Stanley from the Department of CSE. What we have today is the present, and which brought us here from the past. What can we bring from the present to create a future? The great inventions in tech that our forebears held made great innovations today and paved the path to the interest towards the ones that came forward to us. What is intelligence system? It depends on who you ask. A layman with fleeting understanding of technology would link it to the robots. They'd say it's a Terminator-like figure that can act, think on its own. Be that as may, an AI researcher would say that's a set of algorithms that can produce results without having to be explicitly instructed to do so. They'd all be right. Including this, we can infer that the intelligence system is an entity created by humans instructed to adapt the thought and action to be rational and humane. This conference brings together renowned personalities and eminent speakers from different walks of life from around the globe, framed a single virtual platform to share these experiences, innovations, and technical expertise. Stanley College of Engineering and Technology for Women is an autonomous leading institution established in the year 2008, a temple of learning at the heart of the City of Pearls, which grants explicit access to quality technical education to its students. We are also an iOS certified institution accredited by NBA NAC A grade. It is a prestige to announce that we Stanleyans stand one among the top second women engineering institutions in India. Stanley believes in empower women, impact the world. It aims to entitle its students to standardized learning, integrated with values and characters to reflect the world, a firm dedication to continue ethical self-development. About those big dreams, ATBD is a student body at Stanley College of Engineering and Technology for Women. The team came together in April 2020 amidst the early days of the pandemic to shine the paths of learning in the youth. ATPD is organized for the youth aspirants who are in search for the ideal paths, an initiative to help find our steps to achieve their goals. It is important for us to interact with one another and revere their experiences and suggestions to an informative and productive outcome. The team aims to explore opportunities to work on interesting and intriguing projects, internships, and vast courses. ATBD objectives to make skepticism a virtue. This event is motivated by the immense support of our Chief Patron, Shri K. Krishna Rao, Secretary and Correspondent, our patrons Dr. Vinay Babu, Dean Academics, and Dr. Satyaprasad Linka, Principal. Special thanks to our General Chairs, Dr. V. Anuradha and Dr. P. V. Ramanamurthy, Vice Principal. Advisors, Dr. P. R. Anisha and Dr. C. Kishore Kumar Reddy. Program Chairs, Ms. Udayani Chandana and Ms. M. Soumya. Conveners, Ms. T. Nagalakshmi and Ms. Leena Parveen. Co-conveners, Ms. G. Srilata and Ms. Amala Kumari. Coordinators, Ms. Nandini Anjum and Ms. Chandrika. ATBD is a team of 17 persistent and passionate students from Stanley. Our team are Aisha Kaleem, K. Apurva, Nida Arshad, Purvi Reddy, Shirisha, Zuha Karim Ansari, Tasneem, Baswa Lavanya, Nitya Reddy, Daksha Meher, Sahiti Reddy, Amrita, Kriti, Prerna Reddy, Ritika Badam, Sinduri, Shri Kameshwari. Stanley looks forward to scope to translate vision into reality, and all our mentors have never lost the bearings to keep us influenced and prompt throughout. Stanley has 150 plus faculty members, which include 35 of faculty holding PhD degrees and 40 plus who are currently pursuing their PhD. Stanley has MOUs with Salesforce, VMware, IT Academy, Red Hat Academy, Dell EMC, IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Hyderabad, IIIT Hyderabad, and IIT Warangal. On behalf of the entire team of Industrial Institute Interaction Cell, in collaboration with the team, ATBD and Stanley College, I would like to thank all of you for joining us in this today's prestigious event. Being faithful to our Indian tradition, We exist coherently, even though we are at lengths from one another. Let us commence our session with a virtual light lamping ceremony. Being brings a tranquil mind, doesn't it? Dr. C. Kishore Kumar Reddy, the professor in charge of Industry Institute Interaction Cell, is known for his wonderful admiration and his high achievements of the institute he is in charge of. He is a philanthropist and a relentless, selfless service to our institution. He has molded the lives of students and served people with his kindness over the time he spent at Stanley. Now he will be giving us some beautiful words to exchange. Dr. Satyaprasad Linka, our principal, who is known for his work in the field of girl-child education, Sir has uplifted the lives of many little girls with the light of education. We would be delighted with Sir's expertise and knowledge to be shared throughout this session in every way possible.
You are now on mute. Good morning to all of you all. Welcome to this session on intelligent systems. I'm very happy to see the About Those Big Dreams team do another venture in enlightening this and lots of awareness about the latest technologies with interaction from experts from all over the globe. So welcome to Stanley. All the best to all of you all. Okay, I'm really delighted to have this event start, and looking forward to listening to various panels on very contemporary topics. Utilize this opportunity. All the best. God bless you all. In attitude and be active in attitude, not in Corona. Thank you.
sir, for your valuable words. That was really good to hear from you. Dr. C. Kishore Kumar Reddy, the professor in charge of Industry Institute Interaction Cell, is known for his wonderful admiration and high achievements of the institute he is in charge of. He is a philanthropist and a relentless, selfless service to our institution. He has molded the lives of students and served people with his kindness over the time he spent at Stanley. Now he will be giving us some beautiful words to exchange.
You are now unmuted.
Kishore is experienced.
Now unmuted.
Kriti, any issues? Is everything right? Kriti, your voice is not coming.
Please, go ahead and give your beautiful words to us.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry for the disturbance. There are some technical glitches from my end. Good morning to Dean Academics, Dr. A. Vinay Babu, sir. Principal Dr. Satyaprasad Lanka, sir. Head of the departments, fellow faculty members, and participants. I, Dr. Kishore Kumar Reddy, Professor in charge, Industry Institute Interaction Cell, along with my team, data science, machine learning in various fields. The next 2 days will not just be a knowledge sharing, but also a knowledge gaining event, as we have planned the coming 2 days with various panels in various set of applications. It gives me an immense pleasure and also makes us feel honored for having 20 plus panelists for the coming 2 days across the globe. The panel's plan would not just boost up the knowledge on a given subject, but it also creates ideas for further innovations and inventions. I would like to thank the team having multidisciplinary faculty members from Stanley and students from Stanley who joined together and planned such a wonderful event which is kept open to all across the globe. With the current pandemic situation, where most of us are stuck in our own box, but such events and forums via online mode would definitely make the individual to start thinking out of the box. Besides the team, we would like to thank the entire organization of Stanley, our social media partners, for supporting us in the plan and execution of this event. Let us all avail these 2 days to fuel up our knowledge. Wishing everyone a good luck. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, very much. Words like you beautiful. Dr. Vinay Babu, Dean Academics, has constantly motivated all of us enough by being an example of light in the darkness. I'm profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce Sir to address the session and cast the light of his knowledge upon us.
You are muted.
Vinay Babu sir is traveling to college, so he might be having difficulties in connecting, but he just gave a call. He sends his regards to the wonderful student organizers of Stanley about those big dreams for making this happen. Okay, for all the students and sharing which is going to okay, during this where students will hear the experiences of and be led by them to start their own destiny. So this is from Vinay Babu sir. All the best. God bless you.
Thank you, sir, for conveying Vinay Babu's words. We are joined with 17 panels, with 4 panel discussions and 2,400 plus participants from 16 states of India and 5 countries across the globe. Thank you all for raising the prestige of our platform. Let us do the honors by taking you through our rich and beautiful nation with our national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
You are now unmuted.
This is the digital lab. We're all a few minutes delay in witnessing a delay in what's going on. Kirti is listening to the national anthem, and she's standing up. For me, it is over.
We are coming session for
Good morning, everyone. I request all the panelists of panel 1 to join, to switch on their video cams. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
There's one panelist yet to join. We'll wait for a couple of minutes. I hope we can start now. Hello and a very good morning to all. I welcome all the panelists and audience to this panel discussion of the Intelligent Systems Forum 2021 on the topic, What Makes a Data Scientist? This is Amrita Parvatikar and it's my privilege to be the moderator of this panel. First of all, I would like to thank to all the panelists for taking your time out and joining here. Before moving ahead, I would like to give a glimpse of my college and my team to the viewers. The Intelligent Systems Forum is organized by About Those Big Dreams, ATBT in short, a student body at Stanley College of Engineering and Technology for Women, formed amidst the early days of the pandemic to help students achieve their big dreams. With about 4 major events, 60 plus sessions, and 3 plus major conferences, we have built a wide range of well-versed speakers on the topics of education, science, technology, entrepreneurship, art, and world issues. And coming to our institution, Stanley College of Engineering and Technology for Women is a leading institution established in the year 2008, a temple of learning at the heart of the city of Pearls. Stanley is an autonomous institution accredited by NAAC with a grade A and accredited by NBA for all eligible engineering courses. Stanley has a strong belief: empower women, impact the world. Now that I'm done introducing the organizers, I shall gladly proceed by introducing all our esteemed panelists of this session at once, and I'm beyond honored to do so. Firstly, I would like to take the privilege to introduce our first panelist, Professor Safieddine Kadri. Professor Safieddine Kadri has a bachelor degree from Lebanese University, MS degree from Reims University, a PhD from Blaise Pascal University. At present, his research focuses on data science, education using technology, system prognostics, stochastic systems, and applied mathematics. He is an ABET program evaluator for computing and ABET program evaluator for engineering technology. He is a full professor of data science at Noroff University, Norway. Glad to have you here, sir. Now I would like to introduce our second panelist, Dr. Ajit Abraham. Dr. Ajit is the Director of Machine Intelligence Research Labs. As an investigator, he has won research grants worth over 100 plus million US dollars. He has authored more than 1400 plus research publications, out of which there are 100 plus books covering various aspects of computer science. Dr. Ajit has more than 43,000 academic citations. He has given more than 100 lectures and conference tutorials in 20 plus countries. Since 2008, he is the chairman of IEEE Systems. Currently, he is the editor-in-chief of engineering applications of artificial intelligence and serves as the editorial board of over 15 international journals indexed by Thomson ISI. Dr. Ajit received PhD degree in computer science from Nash University, Melbourne. Thank you for joining us today, sir. Now I would like to take the privilege to introduce our third panelist, Dr. Sharvari Tamane. Dr. Sharvari is a professor and head of Department of IT in Jawaharlal Nehru Engineering College, India. She has 24 years of teaching experience in Jawaharlal Nehru Engineering College. She had published 3 patents in the Indian Patent Advanced Search System. She has published 2 copyrights in the Government of India on cloud cluster security policy using DataCrypt based on ontology and distortion-free watermarking technique for verifying integrity of relational databases. She has been awarded as the Best HOD of the Year at CSI TechSnext India. She has published 70 plus research papers in the international journals and conferences. She has also worked as a program chair for IEEE and CSI-sponsored international conferences. She is working as a PhD guide under Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar University. Currently, she is guiding 8 research scholars. Very glad to have you here, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
And last but not the least, Mr. Matthew Joseph. Mr. Matthew Joseph is the Vice President of Upper Technologies. He is the head of Artificial Intelligence Labs for the CIMB Bank, an alumnus of the University of Chicago. Matthew is a mentor for many startup companies in the artificial intelligence domain. He is an official mentor of the Kayla Startup Mission. He was a keynote speaker in many international conferences. He has delivered guest lectures on artificial intelligence to many universities, including different IIMs and IITs. Matthew has completed his post-graduation in data science and machine learning from the University of Chicago and Bachelor of Technology from College of Engineering, Trivandrum. He has over 28 years of experience of innovation, software development, and project management. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. It's been such an honor to read out all your profiles and introduce you to the viewers also. Thank you for all for being available today and being willing to start a conversation. So, as the topic for the panel is data science. Data science covers a large range of groundbreaking technological concepts such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, deep learning. These are to name a few. Through its growth and technical advances, the impact of data science has risen significantly. Demand across the world for data scientists are in no way of slowing down, and the lack of competition for these jobs makes data science a very lucrative option for a career path. So is data science still a rising career in 2021? We'll get to know about this in this panel discussion. So in this panel discussion, we are going to learn about data science. What is data science? Why data science can be chosen as a career path? What are the skills required to become a data scientist? And who exactly is a data scientist? So this was a brief introduction about the topic. Now I would like to ask our panelists we begin with a round of initial insights and thoughts about the panel topic. Professor Kadri, would you like to share your insights about the topic?
Yes, good morning, everyone, and thank you for the invitation. Yeah, so your question was about the skills required for data scientists?
Would you like to share some initial insights about the topic, sir? Like what makes the data science about the topic? Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, so I hear you now well. So it's an interesting topic, and nowadays everywhere talking about the data science and how someone can acquire the skills required to be a data scientist. So as we know, every business now, and due to the technology, data is everywhere. And we see also the slogan that the data is the oil of the 21st century. And that is true, because if we look to the new businesses that rely only on data, we can notice that the market is growing fast. We can say, for example, the Uber company, we can say about the Bitcoins, we can say about many different companies that rely only on data. So they don't have real assets, they just have data. And I do believe this trend will continue for the coming years. And this domain is evolving and will continue to evolve, and it's very dynamic. So every day we hear about a new technology, new tools that support this domain. So yes, this is very interesting topic that you choose. And we hope to discuss, I mean, among all the panelists, their experience and their advice, especially for a student about this domain.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, data science is a very trending topic nowadays, especially in the business field. So thank you, sir. And yeah, we are looking forward to learn more. Proceed to Dr. Ajit. Would you like to share some insights about the topic?
Hi, good morning to all of you. I am Murda. I'm hearing some background echo noise all the way. Is it only for me, or all of you are hearing the same? I'm hearing some background echo all the way.
Now is it clear, sir?
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Because I could see some lagging sound, like what I talked is coming back again. So I'm just wondering whether it is only for me or it is for all of you.
I'm able to hear you properly. There is no echo.
All right, because I am hearing some echo, like whatever I'm talking is coming back, or whatever somebody's talking, I'm hearing after like few seconds behind. Okay, fine. So anyway, I'll go. So first of all, I would like to congratulate Stanley for organizing this wonderful program, Intelligent System. It's very, very timely, and I guess this particular session on data science is also very interesting, and hope that we will have a very interesting session. Probably I will try to give some insights, especially for youngsters. I think to be in the data science, to be successful, I think one I think should first sharpen his or her skills, critical thinking, analytical skills. Because the task for us is to understand all complex data, and we should also first understand the problem behind the data. The more we understand the problem, the more insights we have, the more time we spend, we can also, deep dive into the data and get more insight. Second, I would say, is developing programming skills, because if you want to be really on the first tier as scientists, you need to be a good coder. You need to develop your programming skills, depending upon the data, whether it's structured, unstructured, whether it is some media, so all these things we need to take into account. We need to develop our coding skills. I would say we should also have some basic mathematical skills to understand various aspects of various analytical tools, the way we get the results, how to analyze them, etc. Then I would say we should also get into hands-on to machine learning, deep, bit later into deep learning, for artificial intelligence, etc., to integrate into various data science methodologies. Communication is also a very important skill in data science, even though it is not technical. But I guess like being a data scientist, you need to actually talk to your businesses or your clients, and then finally you should be able to work with your team members finally explaining these results back to your clients or managers. So we should also try to improve your communication skills. Databases, data architect, I guess that's also a very important aspect. If you want to be really on the top tier, you should be able to get hold of what is going on as an overall data scientist, how the data is organized, how it is stored, how it could be retrieved, how this data could be read in the various algorithms, etc. Then I would say, finally, the problem-solving skills, because it is all about problem solving. Data scientist means it's all about problem solving. So we should always try to sharpen our problem solving. Working in a team is also very important. And I fully agree with the first speaker, Professor Kadri. Whatever he mentioned is perfectly fine and very hot topic. And we also need to keep in touch with the technologies. The technologies are evolving continuously, so we should also update our knowledge and be in the top notch to solve the complex data with the latest technologies. So I guess I will pass on to the next speaker.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I agree, sir. Coding and mathematical skills aren't enough to become a data scientist. There are many more skills like communication skills, team management. Thank you, sir. We'll know about that in the upcoming discussion. Over to you, ma'am. Could you also shed some light on the topic?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. And thank you for inviting for such a prestigious event. So thank you, ATBD team. And regarding the data scientist, so this job will be actually is there to clean and explore the data sets and make predictions that deliver the business value. So our day-to-day will involve training and optimizing models and often deploying them to the production. So that is the main job. And the main important thing I would like to share is when we have a pile of data that's too big for a human to pass and too valuable to be ignored. So we need some way of pulling the digestible insights from it. So that's the basic job of data scientist, I think, and to convert the data sets into digestible conclusions. And as Professor Ajit sir said, the technologies will be working, will include the Python, then Pandas, SQL, then the other languages also, other tools also. So some data science positions are purely technical, but the majority will require we have to some business sense also, so that we don't end up solving problems that no one has. So that's it from my side for now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable words. Mr. Matthew Joseph, would you like to add anything to that? Can you share your own insights about the topic?
Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation, and it's really great to listen to from all the eminent speakers here. So I just want to add on to what these speakers were saying. So definitely, as a data scientist, I would say I would look at the 3 dimensions for a data scientist. So as a person who is working in the industry, I would look from a user perspective, from an industry perspective, right? So there are 3 dimensions which is needed for a data scientist. So dimension number 1, definitely a data scientist should have knowledge on the data science, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, computer vision or video analytics, different streams about the big data, databases, SQL, all those skills are needed. So the expertise in the technology is one aspect. Second aspect is about the industry, right? So it is like, if I take an analogy, it's about like a pharmacist and a medical doctor, right? A medical pharmacist or a medical representative, which we see in India, he knows about the medicine. He has the knowledge about the medicine. But what differentiates a doctor or a physician is he understands the patient and he is able to listen to the patient, understand the problem, what are the diseases, right? He is able to detect the symptoms and diagnose the disease, and then he will prescribe the medicine at the right dose at the right time to the patient so that the disease is cured. The same way, a data scientist should be able to understand the business, listen to the business people, the people who are on the floor, who are running the business. It can be marketing, it can be sales, it can be operations, it can be production, it can be HR function, any the different functions of the business. A data scientist should be able to understand the business, how it is functioning, understand the problem, listen from their problem, right? So listen, what is the business problem there? What are they struggling with? Understand that, understand the business problem, diagnose it, and then take the right piece of technology from the data science tree. It can be an NLP where you are going to have a customer sentiment analytics. You understand what are the customers' complaints, what are the top complaints, or it can be a campaign team or a marketing team is talking about the customer, his turnaround or his sales is going down. Probably you need to come up with a propensity model to understand the customer sentiment, customer propensity, what he is likely to buy. Or maybe your customers are attrition, the customers are leaving your product, customers are leaving your business. So you need to come up with an attrition model, right? So understand the business problem, then take the right technology, build a data science solution. And then the third point is you need to articulate that in terms of business value, right? So data scientist role is not just building a model and coming up with a prediction or coming up with your output and showing it to the business, but that is Greek and Latin for the business. So you need to talk from a business point of view. What is that you're trying to solve, right? This is the business problem which a business is facing, and this is how you are solving it. Probably the business is not really interested what technique you are using. What he is more interested is, how are you going to help me from a business point of view? What is the business value you are adding? How much revenue addition? Are you going to add another $50 million? Or are you going to reduce a $10 million business? It can be revenue generation. It can be cost optimization. It can be customer acquisition, right? So you can say that, okay, I build this model, which is going to generate, add another 500,000 customers to your business. Or you can say, this is the data science solution which I built, I'm solving it, and this is going to generate $20 million for you in the next 1 year. Or you can say, I built this solution which is going to optimize your business operation, which is going to save $50 million for you in the next 2 years, right? So you need to understand. So I will repeat that. So you need to, as a data scientist, you should be able to understand, listen to the business problem, understand the business problem, diagnose the problem, and then take the right technology from your data science technology field, take it, build a solution, solve the problem, and talk to the business and add value to him in terms of tangible business results, right? And this is not going to happen overnight. And don't expect the college to teach you all the streams. Probably you will learn data science, you will learn machine learning, you will learn deep learning, you will learn NLP, all this from the college. But over a period of time, once you are in the industry, you need to acquire the additional knowledge so that you become a consultant end-to-end who can add value to business, right? So that should be your data scientist roadmap, which all of you students, probably you will reach there after 5 years or after 10 years. You need to acquire all these 3 dimensions of the data science stream. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was great. Yeah, now I understand how does a data scientist work. He doesn't see only the coding and the technological part, but he also needs to understand the base problem of the and then find the solution to that by applying appropriate technologies. So thank you, sir, for that. So now I would like to begin with a questionnaire, which probably everyone is curious about that. So as a topic for the panelists, what makes a data scientist? So the first and the foremost question which arises in my mind is, who is a data scientist? What roles and responsibilities does the data scientist have? Would anyone volunteer to speak first?
Yeah, probably. Okay, so since nobody is volunteering, so let me speak from an industry perspective. So probably the other speakers are all academicians who are into research. Probably I can speak from an industry perspective. A data scientist, unlike the IT industry, right? So what we have seen in India is the last 20 years or 25 years, we have seen the industry boom, the IT boom, where we see, if you go to the IT companies, so it can be IT services companies like Infosys, Wipro, IBM, Accenture. So we have n number of IT companies in Hyderabad, in Bangalore, everywhere, right? So IT companies, the software development company, you will see a big software teams, right? So for example, you have to build a customer billing database solution for a telecom company. You will have a 50-member team or a 100-member team. This project will run for 2 years, and then there will be a project manager, and then there will be system architect. There will be requirement gathering phase. Then there will be high-level design phase. In a typical waterfall method, detailed design, then the coding, unit testing, integration testing, system testing, user acceptance testing, and then you roll out the IT system to the customer. In data science, the difference is a little difficult. So to give you set the context right, I had the data science lab for a multinational bank in one of the largest bank in the ASEAN region. So I had that data science lab in Bangalore, and we transformed the entire business of this bank end to end. And our bank is operating in 16 countries all over Asia, right? So from a data science point of view, what we have is, the first thing is get the business data into a data lake. That's primarily done by data engineers, right? So the data engineer's job will be, so if you take about in the context of banking, there will be the core banking system. There will be many other systems like your customer care system, your complaint, your public domains data, where you are getting a lot of reviews, or your HRMS system. All this banking system, as part of the data engineering, get all this data into a data lake. So we have a big data platform where the data is coming. And then once the data is there, that's when the data scientist will pitch in. So the data scientist, if you, in the IT industry, in the software development industry, there are people working as a team. In our data science field, it is mostly people working as individual, right? So you have a business problem. Say today your credit card division head is saying that my credit card sales is going down last 2-3 years. The customers are buying the credit card, but they are not using it. It's a typical business problem which you see. How can you help me, right? So the business requirement comes in one sentence. In a software development, you will have a 100-page document with the requirement of the system requirement, right? The user requirement, everything is there in a 200-page user requirement document. But for a data scientist working in an industry, it will be a one sentence, most of the cases, right? The business user will say, my customers are leaving, or the sales team will say, I am sending out all the campaigns through digital platforms, but I am not getting any sales. That's all. One sentence or two sentences. Problem is different. Now, it's the job of the data scientist as an individual. You talk to them, understand what is happening, how are they working, what are the kind of, how their campaign management is done. You look at the different system, identify what are the data sources, what are the data you need to look at, clean up the data, do the feature engineering, build a model, do the testing, train the model, come up with recommendations, and go back to the business and give the recommendation, and then they will run it, and they will see that, okay, yeah, now my hit rate or my conversion rate is increased by 400% or 500%. So it's an end-to-end journey which is done typically by an individual data science consultant, right? So I'm talking from an industry perspective. In reality, how this happens, right? So in a software development environment, you have a 50-member team, and you as a software engineer, you can hide behind. You don't need to face the customer, right? and you have 100 people in your team who will help you, who will articulate you, and there will be team leads and the project managers who will tell you what to do, how to do everything. But in a data science field, it's a different world altogether. What we are facing, the data scientist speak to the business person, understand the business problem, solve it, go back to the business, make it live, run it, show the result, and get the appreciation. It's a complete journey, right? So I'm not scaring the students here, but this is what you should aim to reach probably after 5 years or 10 years. You're not going to reach here on day one, believe me. But over a period of time, probably in 5 years, you will reach there once you are in the industry. Thank you.
Yeah, may I say something?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. So when we are discussing about data science or data scientist, so three main things comes into the mind. That is regarding the data scientist, then the statistician, and the Python programmer. So the role of the data scientist is it helps the companies to interpret and manage data coming from various sources and solve the complex problems using expertise in a variety of data niche. And they should have the expertise in computer science, modeling, statistics, analytics, maths, with a strong business sense, as Matthew sir mentioned, to explore the new business opportunities that are beneficial for the company. And the role of the statistician should be to gather the numerical data, then display it, helping the companies to make sense of quantitative data and to spot trends and make the proper predictions, whatever is required for that particular problem, and designing the data acquisition trials also. And as a Python programmer, so he needs to be able to take various formats of data and can easily import the SQL tables into the code, and should allow to create the data sets and can literally find any type of data set depending upon the need of the application. So for whatever problem he is working on, and he should be responsible for managing and interchanging of the data between the server and the users. So he should be also able to develop all the server side logic, ensuring different high performances and the different repositiveness to request from the front end. So and as a subject expert matter, so we can say that they should provide the particulars of the industry or process they are going to work to data scientists. So these are they can give different insights into how data is collected to a data scientist, and can see the impact that will have on analysis. So I think they are also responsible to provide the information so as the different data scientists can see the impact that will have on the analysis. So and as a business person also, so they should have the solid understanding of the industry they are working in to know what different business problems are there, what company is trying to solve. So and being able to discern which problems are important to solve for the business, and which are critical also. So they also need to identify new ways for businesses to leverage the data. So they must understand how the problem you can solve, which impacts on the business. So all these things they need to know, and depending upon how the businesses are operating, to direct your efforts on the right direction. So this is my view.
Thank you, ma'am. That was great. That was very valuable. And now I think our students, we don't have a clear picture of data scientists yet. But yes, I can say that we have a small picture of data scientists, like what are the roles and responsibilities. Obviously, one can get that from experience. So as we all know, data science is a hot trending topic going on in 2021. Many students are looking into learning that. So, what's the first thing that students should know before starting their journey towards being a data scientist? The first basic thing.
So can I maybe
Dr.
I can ask something?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah, so thank you for the question. So yes, as the other panelists shed the light on what the data scientist must know, let me try to, because I have some experiences with the industry and in the academia, let's try to simplify, because at the end of the day, we need to try to simplify the understanding of data science for the student. So yes, there is some keywords like the domain expertise, statistics, math, programming, data visualization. Those are the required skills, but to some extent. So I cannot say that as you a student or you want to become a data scientist must be expert in everything. We cannot say that as a student and won't become a data scientist. You need to be very good in calculus. So at the end of the day, you will not use, for example, the triple integrals, right? And also at the end of the day, we shouldn't expect that you are expert in all domains. That's why the data scientist usually in most of the projects that work with or work in, must be a person who expert in the domain. Let's give you a practical example. Let's take for example a computer science student has the following project, for example, in the banking sector. The bank, let's say the bank manager, or let's say the director of customer service come to you and said, okay, so we have a problem. Many customers has a problem in paying their loan. Okay, so they are not paying on time. There is some delay in paying the installment, or some of them they don't pay at all. So this is our problem. And here the expertise, this is what we mean by expertise, and it's come from the director of the customer service. So as you are a computer science student or computer engineering student or either mechanical engineering student, because now we notice that many mechanical engineers work in the domain of data scientists. So you have this problem, you get the explanation from the director of the customer service, and now you roll, after understanding the problem, try to figure it out or try to find the pattern why this happened. Okay, and to try to figure it out and give an answer to the customer service manager. So this is what we call to find the pattern in the data, right? So after the explanation, of course, you have many questions to the expert, like, for example, what are the characteristics of the customers? And this is basically what we call the features, right? So after that, you will have all this information, you get the data, and you start analyze the data. Of course, here you need, for example, to know a little bit about linear algebra, because at the end of the day, you are working with matrices, whatever in pandas or different library. Then you need also some statistical knowledge to some extent, because you are working with quantitative data, so you need to analyze these data. And after that, you need to apply maybe the machine learning or different techniques, because you need to understand the pattern in the data. Then try to find the pattern and the result. And of course, the manager don't expect or doesn't like to see numbers, but like to see a graph, for example. And this is what we call the visualization tools. So this is mainly the workflow of a data scientist. This is from my own experience.
Thank you, sir, for sharing experience. Dr. Ajit, would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess I will try to talk from an academic point. So data science is all about understanding what the so you could see data from Excel sheets to data for several buildings. solve problems using a laptop to analyzing data using complex network. I have worked on this project. We had a supercomputing center, like a 5-story building. I myself do a lot of work on my laptop. I have seen both. It's all about understanding data. When you talk about data, we only see like very structured, very well put together. But imagine if you have millions of tweets on a election day, and you're seeing millions of tweets. Or if you look at Facebook, you're having millions of notes. How to analyze these type of data? Imagine, you are trying to play a football game, and you're watching the opponent game during the first half. You come out with a new strategy, watching how the players are playing using data science. Data science is all about analyzing various types of data and trying to formulate real-time solutions, predictions, analytics, deep insights. And it's not only for business; it could be useful for many, many, many different cases. It could be useful for doctors, could be useful for lawyers, could be useful even for games. Actually, the sky is the limit. So from basic analytics, for example, you want to, given today's weather, what will be tomorrow's weather? Given, like you're getting some X-ray samples of COVID patients, and you need to classify them as with X-ray COVID patients or not COVID patients. If you're seeing a group of nodes, whether you can predict, okay, these will be the next nodes, predicting of nodes. You can imagine various type of applications, in various domains. So if you look at, for example, businesses, think about various how the business, placing ads, targeted advertisement, recommendation systems. Similarly, e-commerces, you can think about services, improving services based on various predictions. If you look at banks, if you look at financial institutions, you can think about fraud, detecting frauds. If you look at governments, you can think about various policies where government make decisions based on big data. Similarly, I guess sky is the limit. I'm not talking about academic point itself. Academic section is very big. Actually, we do a lot of data science in various aspects, analyzing data, understanding them, visualizing them, trying to delve deep into them, and trying to improve our research. I guess these are not only as a job, but it also helps us to understand the world better. And if you look at skills, I've been working for the last 25 years. When I used to do tools 25 years ago, data was very, it is very easy to handle, very structured, well defined. And nowadays, data is the practical, everything is wrong. So no one is perfect, like we need to improve our skills over time. So what I want to, no need to worry about, what your skill sets are, and you can always evolve depending upon the problem, the environment, the data you handle, etc., etc. So I think the main challenge is to develop that passion for working in this profession. Data science is a very nice profession. Like I told, for me, it's more like a passion, not only a profession, it's more like a passion. I understand the world better by using data science. So if you have that passion, then you can slowly develop over time. You can contribute, like in your profession, in your community, in your society, in a very big way. And sky is the limit. And I see that this is a very interesting area. If you look at the entire domain in computer science, like data science, AI, this is a core area. A lot of AI. Nobody wanted me, Ben, but today I don't have time to sleep. So the area is getting very, very Sisters, I would say keep your passion going. Work hard. Hard work. More like a skill. For example, like like if I tell you how to make how to make Indian dish, probably anyone can understand it. But unless you make it, you don't. It's more like a skill you learn by doing that. Do it by yourself. I'm putting like small bit of slowly scaling it to each time you can get a time from 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Even I say every day I see a lot of new challenging problems. A lot of new so I guess if any of you have any questions, you can always.
Yes, sir. I agree to that point, sir, that practical experience, very small input, but it gives a very large output. That shows a very big effect. So yes, sir, I agree. Thank you, sir. Moving on. Since data science is a graduate level degree, how challenging would it be to find a job with a bachelor's degree in data science? Dr. Sharvari, would you like to answer this question?
For the bachelor jobs here, you're asking, right? Yeah. Actually, yes. For most people, so I would tend to think that at least we should have 5 to 6 years required to become the data science after gaining their graduation degree. And one can earn graduation degree in computer science or IT or maths or physics or another related field also. And one can earn then the master's degree in the related field also. And so if you're intended to work in the healthcare or physics or business, then it is also a good opportunity, we can say. So because in India, across the industries, we can have the opportunities in retail, in telecom, in e-commerce, and the other areas also. So I think according to the different surveys available on the net also, so approximately around 8,000 or more than that. So we can have the startups also. We can expect a lot of the criterias while getting into this particular job. So without considering the number that the market has to offer, and they can just go for it, and they can get their knowledge about all these things by the MOOC courses also, or by having the different NPTEL, by different Udemy or the Coursera, or whatever the different online courses are available. So they can go for it and earn all these things. And they can also have the different certification programs also. They can just do the internships in different companies for at least 6 months and more than that, so that they can get the experience also in the industry. And they can we can also as an academician, so as I know, and it is our normal practice to organize different lectures from the experts from the companies, so that the students can gain knowledge about the data science and other related fields also. So via media, in between the end users, the data science, and the industry and the academic institutes also. So I think this is there. So at the graduation level, student can earn their knowledge by having all these things. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, I agree. There are plenty of courses out there. But how do a student select a course? Like students find difficult identifying the path to the number of degrees, courses, or the number of internships or jobs. So is there a specific roadmap to become a data scientist? It would really help our students out there.
Yeah. Actually, there are so many teaching methodologies available. There are so many tools are also available, and I do agree that we need to continuously upgrade our curriculum, our knowledge, and include the industry requirement courses also in the curriculum, and update the teaching methodologies also regularly, so that we can train our students to become a data scientist. So we can, and regularly we are doing all these things by having the by giving the different lectures with the different ICT tools, then by having different class discussions, then by having different brainstorming discussions, by performing different drama, then the playing different lectures. So as I said, by industry people also. So but these all doesn't guarantee that. So whenever the students have understood the different concepts, they have understood it or not. So actually, we also follow the Bloom's taxonomy, which was developed to provide the common language for the teachers to discuss about and the exchange the learning and assessment methods also. So these all these methods are actually satisfying the levels of the Bloom's taxonomy. That is the lower levels, I can say, because there are 5 different layers. That is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So actually, it is able to satisfy the 2 bottom levels. But as an academician, we expect the above 4 levels also from the undergraduate students, and the upper layers also from the post graduation students. So actually, the process of thinking the level of students can be improved through the different methods like real-time examples to explain the different concepts, then the storytelling, then the analogies. So like as this is our common practice, that we just put the common problem statement in one of the corner in the department and ask students to write a code and share it with us. So then the students, what they do is they just discuss it amongst themselves, and then they try to solve it, and then they share their code with us, and then we evaluate it, we observe it, we review it, and then we give the comments to the students. Students can also discuss among the students to solve the different industry problems also by applying their knowledge. But for that purpose, they need to have the communication to the industries. And we also help students to do all these activities, because we have the MOUs with different companies. And so every 15 days or the month, we call industry experts and discuss different industry related problems with the students, so that the students can understand the industry problems and they know more and more things about it. So like by giving the various problem statements among the students about these industry topics, and we ask them to just discuss and try to have the different solutions. So in a nutshell, I can say that we intend to prepare the industry ready students and not only exam ready students. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. That was great, ma'am. I agree that once we start learning coding, and then once we get a concept, we don't have to leave that. Regular practice is very important for that. And
Yeah.
by discussing, we get new ideas and we can implement. I agree that. I agree to that point. Thank you, ma'am. This question I would like to direct to Professor Kadri. So, what are the what is the I apologize for the inconvenience. That was due to the technical glitches. I would like to direct this question to Professor Kadri. What are some unique challenges you face as a data scientist, sir?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So basically, There is, of course, challenges that face anyone or any student want to pursue the data science career. But let me just maybe add some comments on the previous question. So I don't see that a master's degree for the student, master degree in data science, is a must, because of course it will add another dimension. But I do believe a bachelor degree is enough. And after the bachelor degree, the student may take some specialized courses related to specific tools, because at the end of the day, during the bachelor degree, we cannot cover everything, right? So 3 years or 4 years, we cannot cover every tools, every technology. So bachelor degree is okay. Then after that, some specialized courses. And also it depends of the background. So for someone has bachelor degree in computer science is of course different than someone has bachelor degree in physics and want to pursue a data science career. Okay, so it depends of the background of the student. But bachelor degree, the fastest one should be if someone has a bachelor degree in computer science, because this is the closest domain to data science. Bachelor computer science student must have a very good knowledge in programming, some statistics background, some probability, and some math background. So the closest one to data science is the computer science. Now, regarding the challenges, we can say that many technologies are available. A huge number of technologies are available. A huge number of tools in the market are available that help the work and the career of data scientist. And the student must work a lot on her or himself. So we don't, no one must expect that, okay, I have now a bachelor degree in computer science and I graduated, then I'm a data scientist. No, this is not the case. So the challenge is to keep yourself learning. You cannot be a good data scientist without an experience and without working on yourself. As I told you at the beginning, this domain is evolving and very dynamic. So the data scientist must expect that a continuous learning, long life learning after getting the bachelor degree. And this will not come without someone working on her or himself, and coming with the years, and coming with the number of projects that working on.
So I get to know that bachelor's is important. Like bachelor's in computer science is the closest domain to become a data scientist. But at the end, all we require is skills and experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mr. Matthew, sir, would you like to add something to that?
Yeah, sure. So probably I may be speaking again, from an industry perspective. So what I'm seeing in the industry is for a data scientist, different career path or different industry segments where the entry criteria is different. So if you look at the research companies like Netflix, or where the data science is searched up, or the Google, data scientists, they will say PhD graduate in data science is what they look for. But in general, in industry, data science adoption is also different from the industry. So for example, the online retail like Amazon or Flipkart, they all use extensively the data science. But if you look at the manufacturing or oil refining or mining or petrochemical, the adoption is low. The reason being, the digital transformation is limited in this conventional traditional industry. For example, you do not need a computer to refine petroleum into petrol or to petrochemical, right? You just need a naphtha cracker. You just need a refinery which can run on its own, which means the core business systems in those traditional industries like steel manufacturing or petroleum refining or petroleum mining, the data science adoption is limited. So most of the cases you will see say predictive asset maintenance. So you can predict when a reactor will fail, right? That's one, or a logistic supply chain optimization. So these are some of the use cases commonly used by the traditional businesses like manufacturing, petroleum, and all. But when it comes to banking, insurance, or retail, online retail, the data is 100%. The business data is there in a digital form, so you can use that. So most of these. So if you are a data scientist, I would say join a company where data is there, right? Because without data, you cannot build a data science solution. So that's the struggle which the IT services companies are facing. The companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, you talk to the data scientists there, they are all building POCs and trying to simulate data and trying to build that because they don't have the actual production data. So data scientists, you always join a data where the data is there. So any data scientist, if there is no data, it is like swimming without water, right? You need water to swim. Water is the prerequisite to start swimming. There is a limit you can simulate a swimming pool, and swimming in a swimming pool is not same as swimming in an ocean. So if you are a data scientist, join a company where there is data. So that's why the Flipkarts and the banks they have a lot of data science happening. Having said that, we recruit a lot of people, data scientists from the campus, leading campuses. So I really look for, so since you are an engineering graduate college, I would say I would recommend somebody who has done a BTech to do a 2 years full-time MTech course or MS in data science. Right? I would not recommend you to go to Coursera and study that. Of course, you can do that. There is no harm in that. But as a fresh graduate, I would expect you to do a 2 years master's full-time from a reputed university so that you can launch your career at a higher level. Right? Somebody with a BTech who has done a Coursera course, frankly, I will not hire. Right? I would prefer to have somebody with an MTech in data science or an MS in data science from a reputed university, which I know that I understand that you have undergone a 2-year systematic technology study, the data science, right? So that's what I would look at. So, but the companies like Google and the top guys I have seen, they are looking for data science PhD, right? So it all depends where you want to start your career. If you want to start at the bottom level, probably a BTech with the Coursera certification is enough. If you want to start at the mid-level or to the industries, the top industries where the banking or retail and all, after your BTech, join a full-time course, 2-year MS or MTech in data science from a reputed university. You have a better chance to start your career at a higher path. If you're really intelligent, you are really smart, and you want to do in the research in the data science. Because see, if you look at retailers and the banks, we are all applying the algorithm. We are not inventing any algorithm, right? So that's where the research is happening. That's where the PhD will make a difference, right? If you have to build your own algorithms and your own data science research and solve a typical business problem, that's where the top research companies will ask for a PhD. But the retailers and banks or healthcare sector, they want the people who knows data science to apply and solve the business problem. That's where the MS course will come in. Okay, so the application is different there. So the machine learning, what we do is we take the random forest or any of the linear regression or logic regression, and then we solve a business problem and we solve a business problem. We are not really building a new algorithm. But if you go to a research industry, the career path is different. So the career path, the top level, the mid level, and the bottom level, all different. So choose the career path based on your passion, how much you can put in your studies, how good you are in getting an admission in a good university, getting an admission in a reputed university for research, how far you can go in the career. So these are the different options, I would say. So based on your capability, do that. That's my suggestion. Thank you.
That was very valuable, sir. Yes, I agree. And I also got to know about that. What a person needs to analyze his or her skills and then choose an organization. If he's interested in kind of research, he can go to research side. Or like you, if he's an industrial specialist, he can go to the industries while implementing the code. He's not developing anything. He's just implementing the already generated algorithms. So yes, sir.
Yeah. So to make it a little more different, so when I said, see the algorithm, the packages, implementation is not so straightforward, right? So there is a whole lot of journey of, it is not just you take the random forest and do that, right? So the whole difference we are talking about is using the data science, machine learning algorithms or deep learning or the NLP, right? The neural networks, these are all standard packages available, right? But I talk about transforming a multinational bank end to end. So it's a whole big journey. We build hundreds of solutions, right? These are all building blocks, okay? And we build so we build machine learning models for prediction for decision management, which means every decision taken by the CXOs or the department heads of the company is driven by an output or recommendation coming from a machine learning model or a neural network. And then we build data science solutions for strategy management, every business strategy, the market strategy, market trend, pricing strategy, with the competition analysis, customer sentiment analysis. We do all this, and our business strategy, which the CEO is taking, is all coming from a decision recommendation coming from this. So it is not just calling an algorithm and doing that. So this is about so a doctor. You cannot say that if you know the name of paracetamol, you can cure the fever. No, right? It's not so simple, right? So the knowing the medicine name is one thing, right? But applying it, where to apply, how to apply, how much to apply, that is what you study in your MBBS and MD and MS, right? Your FRCS. A doctor is spending 5 years MBBS and 3 years MD and then an FRCS to study where to apply this paracetamol, right? Isn't it? So knowing about the algorithm is just like knowing the name of the medicine, paracetamol, or the different medicines in the market. But understanding the patient, diagnosing it, and where to apply, how much to apply, how to apply is what you learn in your medical science. The same way a data scientist has to learn all this. Okay, so that's how this technology gets applied in the business and transform the business. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. I understand it's much more than just implementing the algorithm. There's much more to do. Thank you, sir, for that. This question I would personally like to ask to Dr. Ajit. Is machine learning and artificial intelligence commonplace in your position, sir? How common is a data scientist in touch with machine learning and AI?
Well, I guess that's a very, very interesting question. And for me personally, I see that AI is more like a way to handle data science. Personally, I see that way. And since I come from a research background, I need data, so I need to handle data. So basically, for me, without data, AI doesn't exist. So both are, coexisting entities having its own value. And for me, they exist very together, and they need to be together for many real tasks. And I guess from an academic point, especially an academic point, we need AI to progress data science. So if you look at core data science methodologies, for example, like Matthew Sir was talking about random forest, decision trees, neural networks, support vector machines, deep learning, all these core machine learning methods, they have background from AI. So basically, if we want to improve them, we need AI people to work on that. And we need data to see how these algorithms are working on the complex new generation data. Because every year we are seeing different types of data. Like I was talking about earlier, let us think about complex data. For example, like millions of tweets. It could be like emoji. Like one emoji can tell, a lot of text can replace a lot of text. And imagine you want to analyze emojis from tweets, or you want to analyze, like what does this 1 million archive say? Like for example, election night, you have 1 million tweets, commenting about a politician, and you don't have time to analyze it. You can't really read all these 1 million tweets and what these tweets talk about. So you need to analyze emoji, you need to analyze text. So it is really complex. You can't really use like any off the shelf random forest or decision trees. It's impossible. You need to really structure the data in a readable format, convert it to different formats where it is machine readable, and you need to train it for some classifier, and then you need to categorize it. You need to do a lot of other things, and finally you get output. So it involves a lot of work. And finally, like I mentioned earlier, in some cases you cannot handle it. For example, in a small computer, you need a bigger computer, supercomputer. You need to take the whole thing to come out to a cloud. So basically, the entire thing gets more complex as we move from like a small scale data set, simple structured, to large scale unstructured data set, and especially distributed. For example, Matthew sir was talking about his bank, which is scattered around in different countries. They have different customers for different countries. Each might have their own own different background, own like cultural background, the way they take loans, where they pay back, different background, different cultures. So mining information from that it poses a lot of challenge. You cannot merge databases sometimes. You need to mine individual knowledge and then combine them at a higher level. So it is really a challenge, and I think AI plays a very important role to oversee data science. I would see the progress of data science in a very big scale. And I guess the data science itself is not like a standalone methodology. Like we need statistics, we need machine learning, we need visualization. For example, many times we show things, we can understand things better. For example, like if you have a haystack, and if you want to find something from a haystack, or if you visualize it, it's very easy, right? For example, if I say that you move 10 centimeters up, 1 centimeter down, and like this direction, etc., etc., it's very complex. But if I show a point, that's it. It's very easy. So visualization helps many times to explain, like anomalies, certain changeover processes in information flow, like for example, frauds, detecting frauds. So there are several methodologies, and we need technologies from various areas, not just data science and AI, from statistics, visualization, graphics. So like even we need computational power. For example, if you want to handle complex data, we need computational power. We need sometimes we need parallel processing, GPUs to complex supercomputers. So we need parallel computing people. We need people to develop parallel algorithms. For example, if you want to analyze millions of records, certain records, or if you want to process video streams, you want to analyze video streams, you need some parallel processing. You need to parallelize all these methods which you talked about earlier, like random forest, or we need to parallelize them. We need to analyze them in a very high scale. So we need research. We need then AI very strongly, and we need a cooperation, from different people, not just AI and data science, but we also need people from other areas. So data science, like it's more like you're a chef. I would say a chef, but you need to handle various aspects. And finally, you are the one who is coordinating with all these various technical players who contribute different aspects to solve the problem. So I think AI and data science exist together in a very big scale. And for me personally, I see the future, especially from an academic point, it coexists. And without data, there is no AI. Without AI, there is no data science. So I see like that. Thank you.
That was great to know, sir. We as the students, we don't have any idea about how ML and AI are linked with the data science. We only know data science is a person who is good in coding and also in statistical skills. That's all. So that was very great, sir. Thank you, sir, for that. Now I would like to direct the question to Dr. Sharvari. So for those who are choosing this path just for the hype and glamour behind it, as it is a newly emerging field, so what would you say to them?
Yeah.
Just for the hype and the glamour or the high income, or is it really good? Yes, ma'am, continue.
Yeah. Just a minute. I need to, yeah, okay. So actually, as I said earlier also, so data science, it has a huge scope in India and abroad also. So for experienced as well as the freshers, so who want to make the career in the data science. So I think they should not go for the that the salary is big. So they should just check their interest first, whether they really have the interest in doing the data science job or not. So because what we can say is, so the demand for the professional skills in analytics has grown day by day, by every year, so at least 10%. And as there are the shortage of data scientists in India, so the number of jobs in India are likely to increase much faster versus the rest of the world, as more the analytics projects are get outsourced to India. So due to lack of the skills across the world. So according to the different surveys available, so there are different companies who can hire the data scientists. Like for service-based companies, so Fractal Analysis, then MU Sigma, CT, HCL, Uber, Golden Sash, then IBM, JP Morgan. So there are different companies who are ready to serve the as a data scientist. Then the product-based companies are also there, like the Wingify, WebEngage, etc. So there are Amazon, Flipkart, then Paytm, Haptic, like this. These are the product-based companies. There are some SaaS-based companies also, like Wingify and WebEngage. So as a fresher, or we can the student can earn in between, I think, 5 to 10 per annum, and depending upon the proficiency in skills and the experience they have. So they can get the salary, and it also depends upon the different factors like the skills, then the type of the company, then what experience they have, because the experience in the data science is based on the type of projects they have worked in the past, and where did they spend the more time. So was it really the extracting and cleaning the data, or putting the cleaning into presentable format? So like this, I think it is there. So I don't just want to discourage them, but so they can take their decision just because it's one of the highly paid job, but they can go for it by considering they just love coding, and the numbers and the pattern should intrigue them, and not make them be anxious. So algorithms should cheer them, so instead of numbing them down. So I just wanted to tell them that just question yourself, and if the answers to your questions is yes, and then I can tell you that you're going to make a great career in data science. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that. One should literally have interest and skills regarding data science to
Yeah.
enter the field, just not because of the hype or the high salary thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So didn't realize how time flew moderating this amazing panel, and it's almost time for it to wrap up. And I hope whatever the information we compiled in this panel discussion will be very useful for our students out there. Before wrapping up the session, I would like to ask closing remarks from all the panelists. Professor Kadri, would you like to start?
Yeah, so, sorry, I didn't hear you well. I have some interruption. Could you please just,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Would you like to share some closing remarks about the topic?
Yeah, so yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. I mean, to just discuss this very hot topic. I just maybe give some advices for students who want to pursue this career. This will be very demanding career currently and in the future. Of course, they will get a good salary, and many companies now are recruiting and data scientists and in demand of that. So my advice for the students who want to pursue this career is to work on themselves and not just rely on just the degree. Of course, the degree is a must, but after that they need to work on themselves. Try to work in projects and try to have some maybe certificate. This will definitely help. Thank you again. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your closing remarks. Proceed to Professor Ajit. Would you like to share some closing remarks about the panel?
Yeah, probably I can again give some advices to our youngsters. I think, like as I mentioned earlier, it is more like an art. So basically, more time you spend to understand the concepts, the various types of data sets, it can bring you a lot of confidence. It can also help your opportunity. And of course, it is a very lucrative job, like data scientist, data analyst, and of course, as all of us know, there is no free lunch in this world. So basically, you get more, and you also work more. So basically, you should be also prepared to put a lot of efforts, learn new things, keep your learning ongoing, and also prepare for challenges. And come to data science, you should be well prepared to access to a lot of learning. Continuous learning is very important. So we might have, I guess already some people have mentioned about various points. Always look for a company which is very strongly involved in data science. Like Matthew sir mentioned, without data you can't learn data science. So basically, if you write something about data, you won't learn anything. So basically, you should look for companies who are very active in this field, and I, as youngsters, at the beginning of a career, you should not worry much about. Basically, if I were a student, I would look for a company, which gives me experience than a lot of takeaways. Because end of the day, I learn new skills, I learn new knowledge, I will build confidence. Probably next year I can start my own company, right? But if you end up working in a small company where you don't have data, you handle with some remote calls from some US companies and things like that, you end up lifelong you'll be attending calls. That's it. So it's very important to learn good skills when you're young. It is the best time. It's graduate degree, plan your future. You want to study some more, like a master's degree or some certification, and go for a again, you want to go for a very top-notch because you need a PhD, or if you want medium of experience. So you should make a very nice decision. Always
Thank you, sir. So rather than focusing on the package and the top-notch companies, we have to try focusing on the skills and try to analyze what skills we require to become a data scientist and choose the path according to that. Thank you, sir. Mr. Matthew, sir, would you like to share some closing remarks about the topic?
Yeah, thank you. So I would put it this way. Salary should not be a problem here, and don't get into this stream or career path because looking at the salary. What's more important is evaluate yourself, right? One is the passion. Do you have the passion to be in the industry? No? One is the academic stream, like all the eminent panelists are here. If you want to be in the academic stream in the data science field, that's one stream. But I would expect majority of you to get into the industry. So that's what I have chosen. So do you have the passion to do that? Most important thing is, do you have the skills to be a data scientist, right? So your mathematical skills, your analytical skills, and most important is your learnability, because the technology keeps changing every day. And there are new technologies coming in, how quick you can learn new things, right? So these three are important. And then to acquire the industry knowledge, you need to have smartness and to certain level of intuition and visualization, right? Because you are not going to learn the industry, you are not going to get the domain expertise in any university. Probably you may have some guest lecturers coming and giving you some guest lecture. That will give you the tip of the iceberg. But to get the real industry expertise, you need to join the industry. So how quickly you can learn that and stand without getting into the details of it, can you stay outside and visualize the entire business, and how can you adapt and understand the business, then get into the details. So it should be a top-down approach where you will understand the industry. So these are the things which you need to analyze yourself before you get in it. Passion, your skill, how quickly you can learn new things, your learnability skill, and then of course you need to equip yourself with your education and your qualification, degree, post-graduation, everything, right? So that's a thing which we need to look at. Don't worry about the salary thing. Data science is one of the best paying in career path in the industry. Money will come in, but what is more important is analyze yourself. Are you capable of doing it? Do you have the passion? And the most important thing you are going to get is you will get a lot of job satisfaction. What I am doing is the kind of stuff which I am doing. I get a lot of respect from the CXOs and the board because I'm transforming the business. You get the satisfaction of transforming the business, adding value, and reinventing the business. So that's the whole journey, and you can help to transform the entire business, the entire industry. So that job satisfaction and that sense of value addition is much more than the dollars and the rupees you are earning, right? So don't look at your bank balance, rather look at your how you are adding value to the people's life and adding value to the industry, right? So that should be your driving force. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hope our students are listening to this. And I always receive an answer from you from a very different perspective, like an industrial. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Dr. Shaivari, would you add to that?
Yeah. So along with the technical and non-technical skills the student has, and whatever the responsibilities the company will assign to them. So I just say them that get your hopes high. So as beginner, and you're the most required to extract data, clean it, and analyze it. So while you gradually learn the other things also. So I think once you learn all these skills, the next thing I would advise you to do the work on the projects and build your portfolio. And the reason why I'm asking to do this is because the companies are hesitant to allow the access to their data for the freshers. So you can use the different platforms also, like Kaggle. And if possible, I would recommend you to do the internship also. So it will help you a lot to understand the role in the company, how you work, and what the culture is available over there. So so before you begin to look for the internships, so make sure that you have all the technical and non-technical skills required for the job. So I just want to say that that do the things, just face the things, and go ahead. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful words. A big thank you to all of you to be available today and add your valuable insights in the discussion. Really appreciate it. A hearty thanks to my fellow teammates of About Those Big Dreams. It's always so much fun and such a great experience of learning together through the entire process. Finally, thank you to all the viewers of this panel discussion for being proactive. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Hello. I request all the panelists for panel 2 to kindly turn on your webcams.
Hello, Tasnim. Hello, ma'am. Shweta, ma'am.
Hi,
Able to
I'm
hear?
sorry. I'm Ms. Shweta. I
Hello,
request
ma'am.
Mr. Utpal Chakraborty to also please switch on your webcam. So thank you first of all for being on time. The panel went a little longer, but thank you for being here on time. Hello, sir. Sir, you're on mute.
Am I audible?
Yes, clearly, sir. And we also have Mr. Rashid Mahmood with us, but he won't be able to switch on his camera now. But sir, can you please unmute yourself? We can check if your audio is clear.
Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. It's Rashid.
Okay, hi. Hello, sir. Yes, sir, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. So since all the panelists are over here, we can get started. Dr. Prince Randhawa won't be able to join us because of some emergency. So please excuse her for the day. So let's start. I request all the panelists to please mute yourself so there is no disturbance. Thank you. So hello and a very good morning to all. I welcome the panelists and the audience to this panel discussion of the Intelligent Systems Forum on the topic, the potential of intelligent systems in healthcare. This event has been organized by IIIC, Industry Institute Interaction Cell, in collaboration with ATBD at Stanley. I am Tasneem Syed Tajammul, and it is my privilege to be the moderator of this panel. First of all, thank you to all the panelists for taking your time out and joining here. Before moving ahead, I would like to give a glimpse of my college and my team to the viewers. Stanley College of Engineering and Technology for Women is a leading institution established in the year 2008. It provides all eligible engineering courses which are accredited by both NBA and NAC with a grade A. Stanley is also an ISO certified institution and an autonomous college and proudly the second best women's college in whole of India. Stanley has a strong belief: empower women, impact the world. ATBD, or About Those Big Dreams, is a student body at Stanley College. We were formed in April 2020 amid the early days of the pandemic to shine the path of learning in the youth. ATBD is for the minds that are searching for their ideal path, an initiative to help you find your steps to achieve those big dreams. It is important for us to talk to people and cherish those words to make informed decisions, explore opportunities, and experience things that we haven't tried before. And now let's get the panel 2 started. We have been joined by Dr. D. Doreen Robin. She is the founder and director of Computational Intelligence Research Foundation, CIRF. Her research interests include parallel and distributed computing, peer-to-peer computing, grid computing, cloud computing, and big data analytics. She has published over 30 papers in international and national journals and conferences. She is a life member of ISTE. She is a reviewer for Computer and Electrical Engineering Journal and Future Generation Computer Science Journal. She had been the resource person for the workshop on digital classroom, big data analytics using Hadoop, data science using Python, machine learning, deep learning, cognitive computing, blockchain technologies, cybersecurity, cyber forensics, and software testing. Glad to have you here, ma'am. Next, we have Dr. Shweta Agarwal. She is an academician and enthusiastic researcher with more than 17 years of teaching experience and performing her duties as professor in CSE department at Sage University, Indore. She is also the co-convener of R&D cell of Sage University. She is coordinator of nationwide project for AI skilling and research. 8 PhD scholars are pursuing PhD under her able guidance. She has received the Best Teaching Award, Atmanthan Award, and Work of Excellence Award at university level. She has published 4 national patents and many copyrights. Thank you for being here, ma'am. Next, we have Mr. Rashid Mahmood. He is the research professor of Big Data Systems and the director of research, training, and consultancy at the High Performance Computing Center, King Abdulaziz University, Saudi Arabia. He has gained qualifications and work experience from universities in the UK, including Cambridge and Oxford universities. Rashid has 25 years of academic and industrial experience in computational modeling, simulations, and design using computational intelligence, big data, high-performance computing, and distributed systems. He has published nearly 200 research papers, including 6 edited books. He is a founding member of the Future Cities and Community Resilience Network, a member of ACM, OSA, senior member IEEE, and former vice chairman of IET Sales, Wales SW Network. Thank you for joining us here, sir. Last but not the least, we have Mr. Utpal Chakraborty. He is an eminent data scientist, AI researcher, strategist, and thought leader with more than 2 decades of industry experience, including as a principal architect in L&T, Infotech, IBM, and other MNCs. He was also former head of artificial intelligence at Yes Bank. Utpal is a well-known speaker and author on AI, IoT, as well as Agile and Lean, and has spoken at conferences around the world. His recent research on ML titled Layered Approximation for Deep Neural Networks and his books have been appreciated at several conferences, institutions, and universities. He has also demonstrated a few out-of-box hybridized Agile and Lean implementations in different industries. Thank you for joining us here, sir. I'm highly privileged to be moderating you all over here. So with this, we can get our panel discussion started. So to start off with, I have a very common question now to all of you. We can start with maybe Dr. Dorian Robin first. Yeah. So ma'am, what are your views or opinions on our panel topic, that is the potential of healthcare and the potential of intelligent systems in healthcare? What are your views in short?
Yeah. Yes, in healthcare, a lot of things in AI keeps working. Okay, before we had just normal phones, now we have smartphones. This pandemic, as I could say, has even triggered even more intelligent systems into the healthcare domain. Okay, when you take healthcare, we cannot take chances. Okay, we cannot take chances. When you take the word intelligence, it's making smarter. It's making smarter. So how do you apply technologies onto healthcare? We have a lot of versatile data to be analyzed, and we want the informations to be even more quicker. And if you see onto the research, healthcare domain is prominent now because we want accurate details, because this COVID, even a simple symptoms can drag towards it. We have got a lot of wearable devices which are able to self-diagnose, but we cannot become doctors. But it could be a best alert system, and especially on the medical field, it helps doctors. Like humans, we cannot read 10 lakhs of data at a faster speed, but that could be done by the intelligent system. So to develop an intelligent system, we need a deep thinking. So there are many researchers working on it, and for the students, I say there's a wide area open that you can give your contribution on towards. That is the need of the future. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Rightly said that doctors cannot go through like a large number of records, and that can be done by intelligence system. That's a really good point. Dr. Shweta, we have the same question for you. That what are your views on the current topic in short?
Yes. Hello. Good morning to all panel members. No doubt, the intelligent techniques are playing a very important role in healthcare, especially in pandemic. In COVID pandemic, we have saw a lot of examples related to intelligent systems which were used for healthcare, like remote monitoring of students with the help of some wearable devices, and suggestion of diagnostic suggestions through the remote end. So all these devices no doubt helped a lot in the pandemic situations, and we all are aware about the robotic surgery, robotic devices which are assisting to the doctor, assisting to the patients. So it is a very wide domain, and it has a lot of scope. Students can do a lot of research related to this area, and no doubt it is going to change the healthcare domain completely if it would be in a stage that it can be implemented in real life. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And you have talked about robotic surgery. We'll come to that in a while. And next, can we have Mr. Rashid talking his views on the panel topic?
Hi, can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So potential of intelligent systems in healthcare. So I would say that the trend now is that we are moving towards connected, personalized, and preventive healthcare. So healthcare is moving to people rather than people moving towards healthcare, or say doctors in hospitals. So the trend is that people should not be going to I mean, it's not that they should not be going, but we should provide healthcare to people in their daily lives, and it should happen seamlessly rather than they getting ill and going to the hospitals and doctors. So personalized in the sense that the treatment should be based on a person, its history, its genetics, and all those things. And we know there are a lot of developments in this area. And then intelligent systems, if we say that it means we are talking about AI, then AI has been at the forefront of providing personalized healthcare. And connected means that we are monitoring people on through their mobile phones, smart watches, and other sensors. So we are connected with them and continuously monitoring various patterns and various data from people. And as we know, preventive, that we don't want to get ill, rather we want to prevent people getting ill through monitoring them in their normal lives. So these things, I would say that these are the main trends which are happening. And I mean, there are things happening which we are doing. For example, we are looking at digital and social media based research using natural language processing, so we can look at populations and trends, what kind of diseases are happening, what diseases are prevalent in societies and regions and cities and even districts and smaller areas. Machine learning and deep learning based computer vision based research such as image analysis for diagnosis, and we are looking at DNA profiling. I can elaborate later on. I just thought that I mentioned these because these are part of intelligent systems in healthcare. So DNA profiling that is used for forensic science or looking at paternity tests and crime scene investigations. We are looking at infrastructural and systems research, for example, developing distributed machine learning methods so that we can do faster machine learning using cloud computing, fog computing, and edge computing, and also developing the performance of networks so that we can reduce delays in providing healthcare, and it can move towards real time. So that's all for me. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. You have given us a wide range of technologies which are actually employed in the healthcare sector. And Utpal, sir, you can take over.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir, clearly. Are you here? Maybe sir got disconnected. Okay, no issue. Meanwhile, sir joins back. We will actually move on to a very basic question. So the first question I would like to pose to Dr. Shweta, because she talked about robotic surgery. So I just want to know that. Dr. Shweta, are you here?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
great.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Okay, great. Yeah, so my question is that what does intelligence systems or
Am I
AI?
audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible now. You
Okay,
can take
okay.
over, sir.
Yeah.
You can go.
Yes,
You can go
sure,
ahead.
sure.
Hello.
Sure. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I
Sir is over here,
am-
so he will finish his view on the topic. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay. So to answer your question, so suddenly I got some connection issue. So to answer your question on the future of or how the digital healthcare is evolving post-pandemic kind of thing. So I can say it is a golden era of digital healthcare. Okay, it is going to be a golden era for digital healthcare, and there are a couple of reasons for that. Okay, I think again my screen is freezed. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you clearly.
Okay, yeah. And there are areas like, as I told you, the digital healthcare. Okay, so there are areas like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and slowly even the quantum computing is coming, right? So these are the enablers to make this digital healthcare journey, okay, much more exciting in coming days. So I can give you some examples where already this digital healthcare is playing a major role. It's like clinical imaging. Okay, so any kind of X-rays or any kind of CT scan or MRIs that we do. So now we are trying to analyze those images with powerful machine learning models to detect any kind of anomalies or any kind of abnormalities on those kind of images, right? So, and that will be like a second pair of eye for the doctors, okay, to detect any kind of diseases like cancer, any kind of organ failure, or any abnormality in any of the organs. Okay, so that this is one area which has already been revolutionized by this new gen technologies. Now, coming to other areas like drug research. Okay, so normally drug research used to take a lot of time. Okay? It takes 10, 15 years to get a drug out in the market. Now the techniques that has been used are like simulation techniques. So you start with different molecules. Okay, you do those testing in a simulated environment, which is to take a lot of time, and then you come to animal trial and human trial and release the drug, right? So this simulated environment or testing the drugs in a simulated environment for faster delivery of the drugs is going to be a blessing for the humanity. Okay, it has already been doing, and probably we all are aware that normally a vaccine like COVID vaccine, it is to take at least 5 to 10 years to 15 years. Okay, but today if you look at, so we have got a couple of vaccines that have been developed within 1 year or 1.5 years max, right? So these are quite effective vaccines. This is only because of the technologies, okay, that are now been revolutionizing this particular field. So, and also this pandemic, I would say it is kind of a wake-up call for all of us, okay, that we should concentrate on the digital healthcare or basically what do you call the improvement of our different healthcare mechanisms, and especially for the developing countries, right? So probably in developed countries there are many things there already, because we have seen a lot of lot of
Okay, so I think sir is facing a network issue again. No worries. Now I think we can move into the questionnaire. So my question was to Dr. Shweta. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, ma'am, you talked about robotic surgery, right? So, I actually want to know,
Yes,
like, what does intelligence system or artificial intelligence actually mean in healthcare? Does it mean that robots actually perform the surgery, or there is just some software that will diagnose the disease, or is it something else? What does it actually mean?
Yes. When we talk about intelligence, means mostly we talk about software, and it has some kind of AI algorithm, or AI means machine learning or deep learning algorithm, which will help in taking decision to robot. Because when we talk about the structure of robots, so it is a mechanical part. It has some mechanical components and that are connected. But when we talk about intelligence, means we have to embed some sort of algorithms, and we have to give some sort of training to the robots. We have to provide some history data for the purpose of training, and on that history data, or on the data that we have given for the training, on the basis of that, robot will learn some concept and act accordingly. And whenever we talk about the healthcare domain, especially for the surgery purpose, so it is very difficult that a robot can replace to a doctor. A robot can assist to the doctor. A doctor may use a robotic arm, a robotic part, a kind of robot for performing surgery, so which will help doctor to get better view, or to minimize blood loss. So all these things can be done with the help of robots. And as you asked about the parts, so in my view, that the intelligence can be done with the help of software part.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And Mr. Rashid, would you please like to add something into this? Because we have talked about many technologies which are there in the healthcare sector in relation with intelligent systems.
Okay, so it's about robotics, so in general, you want me to comment?
Like what is, like, when it comes to intelligent systems in healthcare, like what is it actually? Actually, the robots are performing surgeries, or is it the software diagnosing the diseases? So what does it actually mean?
Okay, so I mean, being a computer scientist, I mean, the vision is that computing becomes so powerful that it disappears in the environment, so that we don't have computers and things, but we seamlessly interact with machines. And machines doesn't only mean software, but hardware as well, and things which are acting in our environment. I mean, a small example is opening a door remotely from mobile phone. So this is an action which is being done remotely, and that action can be as simple as pressing a button, or it can be more complex. It opens when it analyzes the security situation, the person, or whatever. And then it can be as complex as performing remote surgery. And we know that in healthcare, this is one of the things we want to achieve, that we want to do remote surgery, where machine will be doing surgery and it is being controlled remotely, where the expert, the consultant, the surgeon might be in another country, for example, and far away. So this kind of systems are complex and require many challenges to be overcome. But this is something which we want to do, we mean humans, and I think that this will become norm over time. So what are the challenges? So for example, one challenge is the software, intelligent systems. The algorithms need to run in real time, and these can be very complex algorithms, which normally might take days or months, but we want to make them to work in real time. So this is one of the issues. The other one is that how precisely we can control the robots. I mean, in terms of the power which is being invested by the robotic arm or whatever that is, it has to be very, very controlled. I mean, better than humans. Then, I mean, of course, in this kind of systems, then that kind of hardware need to be developed. And then because you are doing remote surgery, so therefore the signals, the commands need to be traveled in both directions in real time. So the delay has to be minimized. So all these things need to be done, and it is, I mean, certain things have already been done. There is no problem doing remote robotic surgery, but how realistic it can be, how intelligent it can be, all these things are being improved, and I believe that they will become very realistic and better than humans. It doesn't mean that I'm saying that humans are not good. I mean, I'm human as well, but you know, certain things, if human can make machines do better, then it doesn't show that machines are better than us. Rather, it shows how powerful we are, that we have developed these intelligent machines and humanoids who are, you know, better than human in doing certain things. But who is better? The better one is who controls it, not the one who does the work. So, okay, I can elaborate later on, or you can ask me question now. I can explain. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll come back to you again. Now I'll move to Dr. Doreen Robin. So, ma'am, you said that when it comes to healthcare, we cannot take chances. And just now we have talked about robotic surgery. So, what do you think of robotic surgery and scope of mistakes? How overlapping are these two things, or can these be like totally eliminated?
As said by Professor Rashid, we cannot, if you humans cannot be replaced, right? But here, this intelligence, or you can say it to be artificial intelligence, that's the base. The subset of artificial intelligence is machine learning. The subset of machine is deep learning. When you take about robotic, here we include two parameters. One is AI and the robotics. So it combines and makes the process of robotic process automation. When you take robots, they are mechanical humans. When you take AI, they are the rules of the computer programs that you feed into it. Therein, we have to have our intelligence. All right. So when you take, say, for example, when you take the same robotic surgery, there are basically three types of AI. One is weak AI, that is we give instruction, stimulus and response. The simple example is Siri, Alexa, all right, the Google Assistant. When you come into the strong AI, that contains a humanoid robot. The predominant, it's not into healthcare, but everybody, you know about Sophia, right? Sophia the robot, right? So that's a strong AI, even without we giving the input. Okay, it stimulates and it responds towards. So when you take into robotic surgery, it comes under the strong AI. So the doctors, as computer science people, we need to ever excel in writing algorithms, because I have worked with a lot, even some doctors. Last month I was working, he was a dentist. So when you take AI, we are learning patterns from the data. How intelligently you're learning patterns from the data before the patient comes into the dentist, before he needs to take a treatment of taking the measurement. On the scan, what are the values have been fed into it? The doctor is ready to go to the next step, which reduces the time. So therein the intelligence, whether in which level, say for example, a heart patient. So we take the details of the heart patients, we run through algorithms and we learn the patterns. If the patterns are like this, then he's a heart patient or not. Okay, the next level is that we can also work in intelligence with multi-level classification. Which level he is in. If you take cancer, he is in level 1, level 2, level 3. And writing algorithms and fine-tuning is where AI works. When you take RPA, that is robotic process, we give instruction to the robots to work on it. We need intelligent doctors. We need intelligent computer data scientists who writes algorithm, and intelligent people who works on developing the robotics, because they train. You can see a lot of videos in YouTube. The doctors are being trained to perform with the robots, how the stitching have been done, especially the spinal cord surgery. Sometimes in my YouTube channel, I've published it, okay? How deeply it goes with the micro crack also, which is not being seen by the humans, can be visible to the, maybe if you take image processing, the images are taken, even the mini micro crack also could be done. There, intelligence plays a vital role. According to me, a robotic surgery to be successful, it depends the doctor who performs, the data scientist who writes the algorithm, and the robot that is used to implement the process. All the three. You need to have an analytics, you need to have an optimization, you need to automate it. That brings out the success. But ever since, human effort is more important to apply the task.
Thank you, ma'am. I really liked how you broke it up for our audience, which also includes first year, so it is very easy for them to understand. So, sir, Utpal sir, would you like to add something to it? Because you have also talked about image processing, and here ma'am also talked about image processing and how the algorithm has to be really accurate. So, what can be done to make the algorithm actually very accurate, so that the robot?
Yeah. So I think one of our panelists has identified and mentioned a very important thing. So to do many things, we require a real-time approach, right? So still there will be some kind of a lag or kind of thing. And also for machine learning to work, right, you require a very high computing capability. It is not only high computing capability, some kind of a parallel computing capability is required, right? And which is at this moment, even some of the very high performance supercomputers also is not up to that expectation. Okay, and that's where quantum will play a major role. Quantum computing will play a major role. So if you look at like the quantum AI or quantum ML, so QML, what we call, so that is going to actually revolutionize even the healthcare. Okay, so it is already revolutionizing many of the optimization problems in finance and all other fields. But in healthcare also it is going to be, because it can give that kind of a speed. Okay, number one, for that particular processing, okay, which is critical, and also it will bring that kind of a parallelness and that kind of a thing in there. And I think within a couple of years, although quantum computing, the industrial use of quantum computing is still not that popular, but within a couple of years, definitely it is going to revolutionize all other fields, including healthcare. Because healthcare use cases are one of the major use cases of quantum computing. So because you see now already we are getting some of the services from D-Wave. Azure, Microsoft Azure has already published their quantum services, which you can readily use. But in coming few years, definitely we are going to go there. So that is one area I think which will bring a bigger revolution in the healthcare, because when the power of AI along with quantum, okay, when it will come together, it is actually going to give a different dimension altogether to the entire scene. And many of the things or many of the impossible things, okay, that we are struggling today will become very much easy and very much possible. Because see, if you look at in one way, I would like to highlight another thing. The silicon revolution is basically collapsing. Okay, so as we know, like the silicon devices, okay, so we are getting more and more compact devices, okay, every year. We are getting more and more powerful this thing. But at a stage today, if you look at, we cannot go beyond this. Okay, so we have done whatever is already possible in the silicon way, right? So we have done all kind of electronic doping into that to make our semiconductors as small as possible and as powerful as possible. So we need to understand the silicon revolution is already collapsing. Okay, there is an end to it. Beyond that, we cannot go. So now we require a complete breakthrough in this particular field to move ahead and do something else. And here the quantum plays a major role. Okay, so quantum computing, it plays a major role, and it is going to take this revolution ahead, okay, to the next level. and it is going to revolutionize all fields, including healthcare and medicine.
Thank you, sir. It's really enthusiastic to hear from you about quantum computing. Like you're very enthusiastic about this very topic. And Mr. Rashid also mentioned this topic, quantum computing in healthcare. So, Mr. Rashid, will you please elaborate a bit for our audience on quantum computing in healthcare?
I didn't mention quantum computing in healthcare. Maybe I mentioned cloud, fog, and edge computing or high performance computing. Yeah, but I mean, quantum, I mentioned high performance computing. So quantum computing is enabling, as Utpal explained, it's enabling the next generation of parallelization, or you can say it will, I mean, unimaginable, the acceleration of algorithms will be unimaginable, because the traditional way of accelerating algorithms is that we divide them into smaller chunks and do the work in parallel. But quantum provides a new way, and once this quantum computing area becomes more and more established and becomes mainstream, then we are expecting, more than science fiction, I would say. I mean, whether it will happen or not, we will see, but it looks like it will happen. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. So to Dr. Doran, so just now, sir mentioned about one technology which he thinks will revolutionize the healthcare sector. So which technology you think will revolutionize, or maybe any one use case of intelligence systems in healthcare presently, which you think will revolutionize in the near future?
So as Professor said on quantum computing, so quantum computing, see, you cannot say like one technology will be able to use into healthcare. When you take quantum, it is quantum enabling with machine learning. All right. So quantum technology, when you take quantum computing, it accelerates how do you diagnose, and especially in personalizing medicines. So why we use AI is for more onto the analysis intelligence, okay, to speed up the process. Like during COVID, we saw a lot of people are hunting. It's not only healthcare and only diagnosis. A lot of people were hunting for to get a bed, right? To get oxygen. So wherein if you have an infrastructure, then we all work with different types of data analytics, where it finds everywhere in India, we had apps where which hospital, which bed was available, where. So when you take healthcare, it has a lot of streams. Like as Rashid said, it was on to the drug discovery is one of the stream that people are working. One of our vaccination is taken only through programming, right? And for when you take into healthcare, there are different things, genetics, genomics. Okay, and now you have come into virtual assistants as you students are exploring this new arena. It's not only when you take healthcare, and also inventory of the paramedicals, how many medicines is available for the need, is it available, where we could have an infrastructure, where we have an intelligence to fetch data faster. Okay, and when you take into healthcare and also the virtual assistants, there is a lot that we can do it. People are at home because you cannot travel because of this pandemic. The doctors will do it with assistants and without any delay, and the more accurate. What are the technologies? Like you cannot say like one technology will be used for healthcare. When you take healthcare, the hospital management system, how many, for example, when you go to a doctor, we would like to see which doctor treats the best. Say, for example, you're going to a new place. You don't know about the city at all. Imagine you go to a hospital. I always tell the students, you go to a hospital. There is a very big display where they say these are the list of cardiologists, the dermatologists, the urologists, everybody. And so many people, the people have treated them. And this is the survival rate. This is the death rate. So which say if you have got an options to choose, within fraction of a second, you'll be able to choose which doctor will be able to go and treat it. Suppose you're very new to the place. So data analytics, these helps the humans, okay, into the healthcare. It could start from the hospital management to the medicines available, the paramedicals, the doctor's availability, the treatment level, the drug discovery, image processing plays a vital role. Even with I had a student, an intern in my company, where they work with a lot of data, and with how accurate, if there is a tumor, how accurate the contour of the tumor could be detected. Okay, therein where the intelligent system would be helpful, but at any cost, you need the help of doctor to judge correctly whether it is not. We cannot say one technology or one domain will be helpful. We have to integrate as technology keeps coming every day. It's like opening a new question paper. Okay, we open it, we don't know what is there, right? So same way technologies keep coming. As students, you need to equip yourself into this technology, and how intelligently can we apply the technology onto the process to get works easier and effective. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So we can conclude that complex machines require complex technologies and intermixing of everything. Yeah, that's a good point. And the next question is to Dr. Shweta. We have been discussing that how we need to create algorithms for intelligent systems in the healthcare. And when we create such algorithms, we also require data, right? So from where do actually the data scientists or AI specialists get that data, and how hard is it or easy to collect the data?
Yes. Actually, to collect healthcare data, it is not a very easy task. It is because we have many challenges in healthcare data. Although we have many kind of data, and which can help us in designing systems like systems for hospital administration or system for patient monitoring. But when we talk about the particular disease or a complex disease, so the data should be very much accurate. It should be very much clean. So in case of healthcare, in case of collecting healthcare data, we may face many challenges like quality of data, because in medical domain data is very much diverse and it may have noise, ambiguity. So the perfection in collected data is very much important. And if data is not proper, if for example, as madam has discussed that by image processing we can find out the size of tumor, or we can even find out the contour of tumor. So it all depend on the data, how accurate is our data. So data accuracy is very much important. Precision of collected images is very much important. Then picture quality, because in case of medical images, the images are of very high dimensions. So we need a lot of storage. We need to take help of cloud storage. So this is also a big challenge to collect higher dimensional images and then to process it, because as the size of our input increase, we need to calculate more parameters. It will take more computational time. It will take more storage. So this is also a very big challenge to handle this medical data. Another challenge that we can face is that terminology, because although we have a standard terminology that a medical practitioner should use, but in some cases some practitioner doesn't use some medical abbreviations. So to process that kind of prescription or diagnostic reports, it would be difficult to handle, and it would be difficult to train our algorithm with those kind of data. So these are the challenges that are related to healthcare data. Although we have some what I can say that some facilities by which we can collect data, but also it needs some kind of attention, and researchers are working on that. How can we precisely collect the data? Privacy is also an issue. Many hospitals have some their rules and their they don't want to reveal their data. Some patients don't want to reveal their data. So it is also an issue to collect the data. So these are the some issues which are related to the collection of data.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us a realistic approach towards intelligent systems in healthcare. Now, keeping in mind those challenges, my question is to Dr. Rashid. Sir, are you here?
Yes.
Yeah, so keeping in mind all those challenges, will it be possible that AI can be used to diagnose any disease in the world? Can it be
Any
used
disease,
just
any
now, and any disease in the world? Is it ever possible?
okay, so any disease, right?
Right, right.
Yeah, okay. Um, if we look at so how we diagnose diseases, I mean, it's a complex question because firstly, we have doctors who do some kind of diagnosis, asking questions and so on. Then we have machines which can screen. Our machines are becoming intelligent, so are we able to understand the human system? So I would say currently we don't understand human system completely. We know that, we don't know. We only know up to a certain extent that how our bodies work, how they behave, independently, and how they act in relation to the environment. Different forces in the environment. For example, pollution. For example, the food we eat, and many things. So I mean, I could have answered it simply that yes, but I'm just talking. I'm out loud thinking that I mean, this depends on the machines. For example, we have better and better machines to understand our body, but we still don't understand. And in the future, we will have better and better machines simply because our sensing ability has gone higher, and it is going to go higher and higher. We will be able to develop sensors. If we have micro sensors, then we will be able to develop nano sensors. And if we have nano sensors, we will be able to go to next level. So we will be able to understand our bodies better. And then we have the compute power to analyze that data. Humans don't have to sit and look at those pictures or sounds or anything. So we have better computing ability. Computing is becoming cheaper, and we have now ability to mimic human intelligence, and so I think that we will be able to diagnose diseases, but you can see that as our ability of diagnosing diseases is going higher, because of our intelligence and the way humans think, they want to go next and next level. So we are harming our environment much more as well. We are developing, human generated or engineered foods, and these engineered foods are making impacts on our bodies, which our bodies were not created for that. So they are creating those effects. And so on one hand, our ability is becoming better. On the other hand, the environment our body lives in is becoming more and more complex, and it is affecting our bodies in a more and more complex way. And the proof of that is COVID-19. These viruses are becoming more common now than it was the case in the past. And we are also changing our bodies. I mean, COVID-19 vaccines are example. We are developing more and more invasive medicines which are changing our body. They are evolving our bodies into something else, which means that our natural function is being affected. So yes, we will be able to diagnose many more diseases, but we will live in more and more complicated environment, complex environment, and our bodies will have to go through acting against those emerging complex environment. And because those are emerging complex environment, therefore we will continue to create more and more complex diseases. And I hope that I mean, I don't want to be uh, I want to be positive. I don't want to be pessimistic, but this is like we are affecting ourselves in a very bad way. And I hope that our learning will help us stop somewhere, and will focus more on improving our health and damage. So that's all for me.
Thank you, sir. You just gave us a reality check to us on the topic. So, Utpal, sir, would you please like to add some points on the same question that can we use AI to diagnose any disease in the future?
Yeah, so first of all, I think as all our panelists they have agreed that human system, okay, is the most complex biological system that exists in our known universe. Okay, the universe that we know, probably there is another universe we don't know. And apart from this pathological or our body related problems, okay, there are other dimensions also, okay, that we need to understand. So there are dimensions which even today's science don't have any answer, right? So for example, I will give you like our consciousness. Okay, so what medical science tells is it is essentially it is a combined effect of our whatever neural activities going on. That is our consciousness, right? But many researchers even don't agree to it. Okay, even if you ask me, I also don't believe that, or neither I am satisfied with the answer of the medical science that the consciousness that we have, right? So when I say consciousness, during when we are awake, when we are at dreaming stage, or when we are at sleep, okay, the consciousness is always there, right? It is the consciousness observer which is observing whatever is happening in this world or in this universe, or whatever is happening to our body or even in our mind, right? So essentially, if you look at it is not our mind, okay, which is observing everything. Okay, so there is another screen wherein everything is projected, correct. So and there are anomalies. I mean, coming to your question, there could be anomalies, there could be problems on those level also, which we call psychological, these, that, lot many names are there. Okay, so I'm not a medical professional, uh, but I think, I mean, still we don't have an answer to those things in our medical science, right? Neither I am satisfied with any other answer given by any of the mysticism or any other these things. But I strongly believe that there are other dimensions, okay, uh, uh, other than what we see or what we perceive, or what we perceive through our normal sense organs, correct? And I think the challenge will be there, right? So your pathological problems or normal problems, your organ problems and all other problems, because this is a chemical factory, right? So those problems will be able to identify and all those things. But when it comes to the other dimension, and that dimension is not known to us, or till now, the materialistic approach that we have been taking, when it will stop working in those dimensions. Because see, I mean, it all matters with the dimension, right? So if the dimension goes beyond your perception, at that point of time, you may employ any kind of techniques, but you will not be able to understand anything on that. So I think a time will come which will actually empower us to even, I mean, the technology will come which will empower us to explore those dimensions. At that point of time only we'll be able to say that any kind of diseases or anomalies or whatever happening in a human being will be able to detect it, and to certain extent we'll be able to rectify it. Okay, because I'm not very worried about this normal system. Normal system today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow, definitely they will be able to, if you have some problems, some new diseases come, some abnormalities in your organs, some kind of cancer, this, that, and all those things. This definitely it will be. I mean, technology will one day or other be able to go. But when it comes to the other dimension, which exist within our human being or biological systems, at that point of time, the challenge will start. And I think there will be a lot of breakthroughs required to explore those dimensions and the problems related to those, because those problems is going to be the prevalent problems in coming future. Body related problems will slowly and gradually, it will be like, I mean, people will know that yes, this is the disease, it has been detected. Whether we can cure it, not cure it, how much, I mean, how many years that patient will live or not live. So that decision, people will know. It will be a conscious decision, right? But those dimensions still, I think will take time.
Thank you, sir, for presenting your unique views of the question. Now, I want to pose a question to the panelists with respect to Indian system, like in India. Like we have talked about healthcare in general, about the technology. So I want to know that how in India, what is the situation of intelligence systems being employed in healthcare? Dr. Shweta, maybe you can start with it.
In India, actually, I'm not very much aware that specifically in India what systems are being used. But in general, Google has provided a, system DeepMind, which is providing the facility for pathologists to help in diagnosing the disease with the help of image processing. Then we have IBM Watson, which is also assisting. I think it has been implemented in a particular hospital of South area. For diagnosing cancer, so it is assisting doctors for diagnosing cancers. And other than this, we have a system like Path AI, which is also used for diagnosing disease with in X-ray images and in CT scans, and it is helping pathologists to do for first level screening. At least it can do screening, and then the doctor can take decision that this particular image has a particular disease or not. So these systems are helping to the healthcare practitioners for taking decision, and they are assisting them for the screening purpose. These systems are assisting them for screening purpose.
Thank you, ma'am, for your initial insights about India's situation. Dr. Lauren, are you with us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yeah.
again on the same question, your views.
Yeah. And before which, I would like to add one more thing on you're asking about the data sets to develop algorithms, right? So when the quality of the algorithm depends on the data set that you give to develop. As I said before, majorly we learn the patterns of data. Say, for example, we know what is the level of for a diabetic, what would be the blood sugar level, then it says the person is diabetic or not. Right? There are many benchmark data sets given by the doctors. Okay, it is in UCI machine learning repository, data world. All right. So when when you want to eat a good food, it depends on the quality of ingredients we use to prepare it, right? So then the taste of the food also is good. Same way, when you develop a good algorithm for intelligent system in healthcare, it majorly depends on the input data that you give into it, and it should be benchmark data set, and it is authorized by and it is authorized by the people, the doctors, and then we have to develop algorithms, and that is what is needed. So whenever we develop algorithms in artificial intelligence, basically it depends on the data set. Many doctors have published benchmark data sets. If that is used, it is of good use, because learning patterns, generally intelligent system, it's machine, we make it machine enabled. And coming into the Indian's healthcare system, and we have more because when I visited UK research lab, okay, there basically they work with something called PHR, which is called personal health record. So each of them, as we have a unique identity here, okay, there they have got a unique identity where all the data are encrypted. All the data are encrypted. All right. So when onto the particular name, if the person is got, then the doctor could be able to decrypt and know the entire past history of it. So if that system could come in, it would be of even more use. But now in digital healthcare, India is dramatically improving. I know you should have seen it on IIT Mandi. Okay, on February 2021, they have launched the application. Okay, they have launched the application for the healthcare. Okay, many institutions has also they have started developing it. In February 4, 2021, during this quarantine management, IIT Mandi, okay, they made an artificial intelligence based monitoring application for COVID-19 patient, like which many institutions are coming. We are improving. We are taking step by step every day, and one day. And as I said before, it cannot replace, but it could reduce the time. And like they say, for example, when people are infected with COVID, majorly they say the uh, level of oxygen. Okay, there are many wearable pervasive computing that comes. So besides what is their heart rate, how it has been done, all right, and that is more. We are coming step by step, and in future, and as researchers and students like you contribute more to it, we'll be able to achieve more kind of automation into reducing the time in finding, detecting the disease at an earlier stage. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering both the questions. So, Utpal sir, the question is for you. For you again, like the India's scenario when it comes to intelligence systems in healthcare.
Yeah, so in India context, so one of the major thing is as Dr. Shweta also told, and also the other panelists, the data, right? That is also one issue, and that's why you see like there are very few startups in India in the healthcare about fintech and all other space. So there are plenty of, because as I am well connected with the startup ecosystem in India, and many of the startups I am the mentor. So that is the main reason. Okay. So number one is data, because getting data is very difficult, because no hospital will give you data in that way. Okay, or any pathology center or any diagnostic center is not going to give you data in such a way. So that is one of the challenge that any startup. So although they have got a unique concept or kind of thing in this thing, but they are not going ahead because of that. So now here government should play a major role, right? So to building that data ecosystem, or we can say data market, and here a lot of works need to be done. Okay, it is not straightforward, because it is not like just making the data available to somebody. Okay, so you will have to remove the PIE information from there. You will have to do lot of pre-processing, lot of compliance things need to be looked into. A lot of GDPR things will come into picture, because a lighter version of GDPR, Data Protection Act, is already in enforcement in India. So those things have to look at, taken into consideration, and then only the data should be made available for the startups to build innovative products. Okay, because if you look at, I mean, most of the innovations, okay, it is amazing to see 80-90% of the innovations that are coming up, those are coming up from the startups world only. So these startups worlds are probably from the incubation center of big institutions like IITs, right, or any medical colleges or those kind of things. So I mean to empower them, because without data they will not be able to do anything, and real data, to empower them with the right kind of data and other support, which are mostly legal and compliance related. Government should play a major role. So it includes the central government and also the state governments. And once we can make it, you will see more and more brilliant startups will be coming up in India with brilliant solutions for us. Okay, so this is a major challenge. So now, number two challenge is like now we are talking about few things which are very high-end things, okay, and which is only be possible in the urban areas of the metros, right? Or you can say A grade, B grade, and C grade cities you can talk about. But majority of the Indian population is residing on not urban area. Okay, so you'll have to go to a little bit of rural or semi-urban area also. There, if you look at, even the basic healthcare system is also not there. Okay, a normal hospital is not there. Normal things are not there. So there, if we talk about digital healthcare and high-end technology and all those, it is of no use. Okay, and probably the success of healthcare cannot be measured just giving some kind of a cutting edge technology into one private hospital or some hospital. No, this is not the success of healthcare. Success of healthcare should be measured, okay, as a country wise, okay, as a country, how the healthcare is reaching even to the poorest, even to the person who is sitting at the remotest corner of India, of a country. And when I'm talking about India, it is probably for other countries also, other developing countries also, it is possible. And for that, infrastructure-wise, there are lot many things need to be done before we go to that stage. Otherwise, probably in Bombay, in Delhi, or Madras, in some hospitals, you will have robotic surgery, this, that, and all those things. Okay, but that will serve only a very minuscule percentage of our population, and that too very elite kind of a population that they will be able to serve. But I think the success of healthcare, and what we should think, okay, as a whole, everybody, including the academia, including the industry, including the healthcare professionals, doctors. Okay, so these are our assets for the country. To think of how we can take this kind of facilities, okay, to the remotest corner, and this is already happening. Okay, so there are mobile apps happening. I have seen there are things wherein, like when a person is traveling in the ambulance, okay, so many of the medical cares can be given with the guidance, with the camera and all those things, with a doctor and all those things, so that he gets that kind of attention before he reaches to the hospital. Because see, I mean, from a remote corner, when he's traveling, it will probably 2 hours, 3 hours to reach to hospital, and something can happen in between. Okay, so that kind of support and all those things. So people are working on that, and I think, I mean, this is my personal request to the entire community, okay, that we should work toward that, and that is the success. Okay, success is not just implementing a small technology in a multi-speciality big hospital and big these things. Yeah.
You're absolutely right, sir. I really like the 2 points which you raised, that the first thing is that the government should promote startups and institutions actually focus them on the intelligence systems and healthcare, the youth of India basically. And the second thing is that the healthcare should not only be focused in the urban area and should be tagged as a success for the whole country, but it should be promoted throughout the country. I really like those 2 points. And sir, you said that you'll be available only till 12:05. It's a request if you could be at least for 10-15 minutes more. Is that fine, sir?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll have to jump into another meeting, so I'll beg pardon from everybody. So yeah, and next time definitely I'll make myself available for this. This is a brilliant discussion, and I thank you, the college authority, and all the panelists. Okay, I thanks so much, and I think this is a great initiative, and let's join our hands together to make a better healthcare system in India. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Really honored to have you over here. I hope the other panelists can stay here. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. So, Dr. Rashid, are you here? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm here.
Professor Rashid. Yes, sorry for the long discussion about India. So I want to talk about KSA specifically, and one of our panelists also talked about Sophia. So I want to know, like, how is intelligence systems being employed in healthcare sector in KSA, and also is the robot Sophia being employed for that, because it is an example of a strong AI.
You're asking me.
Yes, sir.
KSA, you mean Saudi Arabia?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So your question is that how intelligence systems are being used in Saudi Arabia and
Right.
Sophia. You're asking about Sophia as well.
Yeah, if it is being used.
You mean Sophia being used or intelligence systems being used?
You can talk about both, sir.
I mean, I don't know how much of Sophia being used. I mean, I know that the nationality was given to Sophia, and I don't know about this. I mean, in general, yeah.
You can talk about the intelligence systems being employed.
Yeah. So in general, I mean, the healthcare system here has been quite well, I would say, because we didn't have very high number of cases, and and the government response was, I would say, I mean, I'm from Saudi Arabia, so I can say that, I mean, what I mean is that if I praise it, then it probably doesn't count, but I will say the fact that, living here, I feel that, I mean, in terms of pandemic response, it was not just about healthcare, it was also about the operations, the government policies, how they deal with people, what kind of policies should be in practice. So we didn't have high number of cases at any time since the start of the pandemic, and the cases were quite limited. The deaths are quite limited, and now government is very active with vaccination as well. And a large part of the population has been vaccinated. I mean, the debate about vaccination, I will put it on the side, whether people should be vaccinated or not. But if we consider that vaccination is an important objective, then yes, it has been a large part of the population has been vaccinated. We have systems which monitor us in terms of the COVID status, and people are being physically distanced, in different places, in malls, in mosques, and other places. So I think that overall the government's response was quite successful until now. And I mean, of course, there's a lot of intelligent analysis going on in the background, but there are a lot of front-end systems like applications, like we have Tawakkalna, we have Tamarna. I mean, these applications monitor people's status, and when you enter any mosque, any shops, even local small shops, they monitor it whether the person is safe or not. That has helped to keep the number low. So I think it has been quite successful here until now. I mean, what happens with Delta? I mean, how the pandemic evolves in the future is a different issue. We don't know, but until now it's quite good. Okay.
Okay, good to hear, sir, about the situation of another country. So the next question which I have is for Dr. Doreen. Ma'am, are you here?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Like we have been talking about how students are also being attracted towards AI, and so what basically my question is that what should the youth know actually now, so as to be able to contribute to AI for being used in healthcare?
Okay. For the students, equipping themselves onto the technology is more important. Okay. Basically, as students, you cannot think of doing huge, okay, because you are doing a part of it, trying to learn technology. Then after you complete your course, you'll be deployed into institutions or college or companies where you work on with. So as a data scientist, okay, it could be healthcare or whatever could be the domain. Okay, especially if you take predictive medicine, 80% of the hospitals, they have changed into this. So whenever you take a data, there are 4 analytics that we need to understand. So first is when you take a data, okay, to process into the healthcare, or it could be climate prediction system, or it could be any kind of system that we want to go into prediction. The first level, we need to have a descriptive analytics. What is this data about? The languages, like in Python, there are many packages that are available because it's free source. You can use it at home, you can use it at college, and many students, they started using, do you know about Colab? Google is providing Colab, okay, where you can start developing it, right? So they give you GPU, TPU, the infrastructure itself, they're providing it as a service, right? So as students, you need to equip yourself in training technologies. Take benchmark data set, which is available in UCA machine learning repository. If you want it, they have got like benchmark data sets for heart disease, for diabetes, for breast cancer, for cervical cancer. You have got image data, you have got text data, which has been authorized. So take making your input of a data, that's more important. Second step, you need to explore what is that in the data. That's it's descriptive analytics. Then we need to go on for the diagnosis. What are the patterns? How it is being happening over there? That is where how you take your data and work on with it. Then developing a predictive model. So whether if these parameters, say for example, you develop I had 8 interns who developed a very simple web UI right now. You feed in the data and you say, then it will give you we have a training data set testing, they train it, they test it. So on the training, they learn the pattern, and a new patient comes, they feed in the data, then the system tells you whether you are a patient, you have got infected with a particular disease or not, or what is the treatment. Then it makes easier for the doctor to analyze it. And more important, the next level of analytics that any student needs to do into the intelligence system is prospective analytics. What will happen? What are the steps the people, say for example, you are not, a patient is not diabetics, but your system, the development of algorithm that you develop, maybe in the 5-10 years, they may get taking about the family history, the genetics, they may get this disease. What are the precautions they need to do it to safeguard them from the disease? All right. And here also you can contribute more on pervasive computing on wearable devices. You know, you have got a lot of devices which says you walk so many distance, your BP is this, and there is also some negative part of it. But as students, you can think what is the positive part in capturing data from first to recognize our own healthcare on small modules. And also I always tell students, you can integrate with different departments and work on with. So when you develop a project, it will be of like you can have people with computer science, EEE, EC, mechanical, and that gives you a very good innovative product that you can develop during your college times. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. Because now the machines, as I previously said, are complex. So the students, which models they make should also be integrated with the knowledge of different branches. That's rightly said. So Dr. Shweta, would you shed some light on the same question?
Yes. When we talk about student, if they want to make their career in this domain, so the very first thing that that should be there is the interest, because healthcare, to understand healthcare data as a very complex job, and they should be ready to learn interdisciplinary also. Because when we talk about healthcare data, so we need to take help of pharmacists also, we need to take help of doctors, we need to take help of some biological streams also. So if a student has interest, then that he can learn interdisciplinary subjects also, because it is not only for computer science students, because healthcare data is very diverse data. So if a student is ready to learn interdisciplinary, so definitely he or she can go in this area. And when we talk about technologies, so technologies are common. He has to be very much keen in data science. He should be aware about machine learning algorithms, deep learning algorithms, because data science and machine learning are complementary to each other. Whenever machine learning algorithms need data, and for driving inference from the data, we need some machine learning algorithm. So data science and machine learning, the student should be aware about both the technologies, and he should be able to learn all the concepts which are related to his particular domain or his particular interest. For example, if a student is interested in related to cancer diagnostics, so he may take help of surgeon or an oncologist, which can assist that this particular image, how the images are, how he can identify that this particular image is cancerous or this particular image is not cancerous. So all these things can be done only with the help of some doctor. So this, no doubt, this domain has a lot of potential. The only thing is that the student should have enthusiasm that he can learn all things, all these technologies, and he can take help from other domain expertise also.
Thank you, ma'am. A really great point raised by you is that interest is really very important. Interest and enthusiasm. That's true, really true. And and Professor Rashid, your opinions on the same? That how can students, what students need to get into AI in healthcare?
Okay, so I mean, a lot has been said already by Doreen and Shweta and also Uptal. And I would, rather than saying about data science, I would say in general things, which is that no more we live in a time where studies are single discipline. So people can't just go and do a degree in business, very single-ended view of business, and same about engineering and sciences and so on. We live in a time where disciplines are converging and things are more and more multidisciplinary. So a lot more is needed than having a degree from a traditional institution, that even if it is a top institution like MIT or in India IIT or any other, the students need to understand that just having degree is not enough, and they need to learn from various courses, various courses, open source open courses, and wherever they get an opportunity to work on practical things. For example, Google Colab was mentioned. A lot of projects these days are available on the internet. You can get into various competitions and so on. So they need to do this, and they need to understand that now the competition is very high, and they have to do multiple things in order to bring differentiation and innovation. So I would say that students need to be positive and optimistic, and they need to have vision, look high, and if they want to work in healthcare, then they can focus on healthcare. But if they are going to work in technology, because of the multidisciplinary nature, it doesn't matter where they start, as long as they continuously are learning and they are continuously making use of their time to develop a capital for themselves, then they will be able to work in healthcare or anywhere else. But a single view will not be enough. So that's all on this one. Yeah. If this is the last time that you are asking me a question, I want to just give thanks to Doreen, Shweta, and Utpal. I learned a lot from this panel, and very much so. Thank you to you, Tasneem. I mean, I haven't seen many such smiley and good moderators as you are, and so energetic and positive in such difficult times. We are going through a difficult time, but mashallah, I see that you are young, and you have so much energy. And being young, you mashallah have so much knowledge to be able to manage such multidisciplinary panel. And people like I was just looking at Doreen and Shweta and Utpal, did a search, and I found that they have achieved so much, and you are moderating this panel. This is a great achievement for you, and I think you will go very far. That's all from me.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your words. I really appreciate it. And I actually had more questions, but we are running out of time, and we really have to wrap it up now. But before that, I would like to ask for closing remarks from all our panelists. Dr. Doreen, maybe you can start.
It was a good interaction with all, yes, Dr. Shweta and Dr. Rashid sir and Utpal sir, right? I'm spelling his name correct. So it's a knowledge sharing session, and each of us, we shared what we know about it. So taking into me, I was into a decade into engineering colleges as professor and HOD. And 2017, I started this R&D company. Basically, we work with data science, machine learning, and deep learning. And so as students, you have got the highest potential. I always say this, as you are in India, learn well, contribute more to India, and make India great. Okay, as we are approaching to the 75th year of independence, okay, there are a lot of opportunities available. I travel many countries, I meet researchers, and everywhere I see onto the top field, Indians are there. So I always tell my students, right, learn well, equip yourself, serve to India. Then see this healthcare, not only in healthcare, in the climatic prediction system, onto the inventory, and also into the finance. In finance, lot of things that you can do. The technology is the same, but your contribution, it's so wonderful to see. And also it is Stanley College for women, right? Women are more empowered, right? You can, because you will be able to manage many things. You are just young now. After sometimes you all get married. You need to balance your family, your in-laws family, your work, your children, everything. God has blessed you with all potential. But this time, use the best of it to equip yourself and contribute, write journal papers. Right, you have got good professors, and we are all there to help you, like Rashid sir, Uttal sir, Shweta ma'am, we are all there to help students in whatever you learn. Like as ma'am says, she has got patents and copyrights. That's wonderful, right? That's an IPR. It's an intellectual property right. You gain your right when you go for an interview. If you have a journal publication, if you have a patent, Government of India is giving a lot of opportunities for students to start innovation club. You write your patents, and therein where you outperform other students through something innovative, contribute, make India great. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you all the panel members. Thank you Rashid sir, Shweta ma'am, Upta ma'am. A very special thank to Tasnim. A beautiful way, not only today you compared the event, you moderated, the way you communicated the entire college, like 3 months before. I see students planning themselves so excellent. I was so amazed to see, okay, students planning and how are you doing it, right? So before this talk, I had a talk for Panimalar Institute of Technology. Like Warren Buffett says, an idiot with a plan can beat a genius without a plan. I repeat, an idiot with a plan can beat a genius without a plan. Like Warren Buffett says, you girls and the entire management made an excellent task in planning and executing it. God bless you for your best future. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for those encouraging words. Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you. Dr. Shweta, a few closing remark words.
Yes. Really, I'm very fortunate to be the part of this discussion. I got opportunity to meet Dr. Doreen, Dr. Rashid, and Dr. Utpal. These people are really very knowledgeable and very enthusiastic. So I feel very fortunate to be the part of this discussion, and very big thank to the Tasneem. She has moderated session very well. And as a concluding remark, I want to say that it is a domain that has a lot of research potential and a very high career perspectives. So students should really learn all the aspects which are essential to go deeper in this particular domain, and they will definitely have a very bright career, very bright future. And it was a very good initiative taken by the Stanley College that they have gathered all the peoples which are related to this particular domain. So it is a very good opportunity to you all students, that you should be get motivated with this particular interaction, and should start doing work in this particular area, and it has a lot of potential for research also. So thank you so much. Thank you, Tasneem. Thank you all the panel members. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir? Rashid sir, are you here?
Yeah. Okay, sorry, you were asking me. Okay. Yeah, I think I said enough. I think I said already what I wanted to say, and I thanked everyone as well. So thanks again to Doreen, Shweta, and Utpal, and you. And I think we live in a difficult times, and students they need to understand. They need to be positive. They need to work hard. They need to work smart. And so I think things come to people who continue to work hard. So I think there are good times ahead for students. They have they have the energy, they have the time to do things. So they should make use of their time. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And again, a very big thank you to all of you to be available here today and add your valuable insights into the discussion. I truly, really appreciate it. And a hearty thanks to my fellow teammates of About Those Big Dreams. It is always so much fun and such a great experience of learning together through the entire process. And finally, thank you to all the viewers of the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma.
So that was it for day one, and we will meet tomorrow.